Stand up, New York Giants fans. Hope you guys enjoying your summer. First solo Giants live stream I've done in a while. Be doing the live stream show with Bad Dog this week as well, so that'll be back on the channel. We were on his channel last week, so really looking forward to getting back into the swing of things with New York Giants. Just want to say hello to everybody. We'll talk about training camp. We'll just talk about the season. I know a lot of you guys just want to get back into the full New York Giants football, and that's kind of how I felt when I went to training camp today. It gave me, I was like, all right, football's back. I'm ready to go. And it's been a long time coming, right? We've been waiting a long time. We were all excited about, after the draft when we got Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. I got to see both of those guys today. We'll talk about that, but it's just fun, man. A new season. I'm excited. You know, I'm going to go in with reasonable expectations, but regardless, I'm excited. I get excited every new football season, and really excited to go to training camp today. Get to meet a lot of you guys. Got to hang out with Bobby and Justin. It was a lot of fun. Tried to live stream it for you guys. Tuesday, I'm going to be going back. Should be getting a better view. I think I'm going to be potentially on the field. I don't know that for sure. And if I am, I'll definitely try to give you guys a better view and maybe get a camera stand for the live stream. But I hope you guys enjoyed what I was able to show you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the upcoming football season. I'm just going to read this super chat. I know it's a troll. Oh, Benjamin, well, thank you. I'm not going to pull it up, but thank you for the $50. I appreciate it. I know it's a troll trying to get under Bad Dog's skin. I'll read it, though. He did pay $50. I will read it. He says, there's the old legend my great-grandma once told me. She said, one day a man will be born, and his name will be Bad Dog, and he will stink. All right, my man. I appreciate it. You know I'm not gonna badmouth my guy, man. I've been working with Bad Dog for 5 years on YouTube, but you're always gonna get trolls that want to see, us have a little us go at it with one another. But no, I love Bad Dog. And NY Giants 26, man. Thank you to remember for 18 months. Says stand up, Chris. How was camp? Any wait for FanFest? Let's go. I don't want to bother you. Watch the I didn't see it, man. Send it to my email again. I didn't see it. Maybe I missed it. I actually was looking for it today, so just send it to my email again to cbguzzo85@gmail.com. But yeah, when I see it, I'll definitely post it on a live stream. But yeah, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for FanFest. It's going to be here in what, like a week? I think a little more than a week. So it might be a week. It might be a week from today. So I can't wait for that too. We're going to have the live show with Bobby and Justin and License Plate Guy again. Jake, man, thank you very much, man. Nice hat. I think KT will have over 1,000 yards. Yeah, I don't want to read too much into training camp. I mean, it's fun. It's exciting. The one thing that I will take out of the training camp, and you've heard it all over Twitter from Bobby, Justin, all the Giants fans that have been at the training camp the first day, the one thing that is clearly apparent, it is a brand new offense. There's a lot of pre-snap motion. You saw Saquon Barkley go out wide right a ton today. I talked about that on Twitter as well. So it is a new look offense. There's make no mistake about it. Tony looked good, made a couple of really nice catches, made a great catch day one. I do think he's going to succeed in this offense, provided he can stay healthy. That goes for any other player on this roster. But I don't want to get over the top in terms of my evaluation of these players. They can't even tackle yet. They don't even have the pads on yet. But I thought it was interesting the way that it looks like they're going to scheme up both Wendell Robinson and Kadarius Toney. I think Robinson is going to have an even bigger role than at least this is just from me watching it. But I think Robinson is potentially may have an even bigger role than I initially anticipated going into the year. And of course, with Sterling Shepard hurt, it should only increase his usage. But I think Robinson is going to be used a lot this year. But we'll see. He's a rookie. We'll see how the New York Giants utilize him in the offense. But I think they have a clear plan for him. Make no mistake about it. And you're going to see a lot of pre-snap motion. You're going to see a lot of innovation this year with this offense. And that's what I think a lot of New York Giants fans are really excited about. Zahai, man, thank you very much, man. Yes, sir. What's going on, my boy? Let's get this season rocking, bro. Can't wait, man. Week 1, Tennessee. Let's rock and roll. We got the Tennessee Titans week 1. And then we got the Carolina Panthers week 2, followed by the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football, man. I can't wait for our first game. Our first preseason game, I think, is in less than 2 weeks, which is crazy. So we'll be doing that game as well as we get going. It'll be interesting to see how much they use Daniel Jones. Joe Judge, of course, didn't really use him at all in the preseason games. You would think new offense, they'd want to use him at least a bit. I also mentioned Tyrod Taylor, albeit with the second team, looked good. I'll say that for sure. Definitely looked like pretty impressive. And I'll say Colin Johnson, who's kind of a wide receiver on the, I guess, fighting for those last couple of spots, looked pretty impressive to me today, too. He was getting open pretty regularly, albeit against the second-team defense, but looked pretty good. I think he caught 5 or 6 balls, so I'll say that as well. Darius Slayton continues to have drop problems. He dropped the ball right in the breadbasket So a lot of fans got on him for that, and that continues to be a problem. But yeah, Colin Johnson stood out to me today too. John Laterno, he says, stand up. Glad to see you back, my friend. On paper, my Eagles should be good, but this division is going to be tough. Even the Giants have a chance. Listen, the Eagles are the favorite going in. I think either them or the Cowboys. The Cowboys won the division last year, but you never know. That's the beauty of the NFL. That's the beauty of the NFC East. Last year, I ragged on your Eagles, and not just me. Most people did. Most people thought the Eagles weren't going to win more than 5 or 6 games. They surprised a lot of people with a new coach. I'm not saying the Giants are going to do that, but it's the NFL. Things can happen. But right now, going into the year, yeah, I'd pick your Eagles. But, I don't think you guys are, like, unbeatable. Word, man, stand up. What's going on, Word, man? Hope you enjoyed your summer, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. The Big W says, I like that they did warm-ups to the KT song. Yeah, I don't even know what his song is, but I heard a lot of people talking about that after the fact, that they warmed up to a song, which is cool. It's kind of the coaches showing their player respect. That was cool to see to see that the New York Giants did that. Brian Dable was cool to see him up front. Evan Neal, you guys know I'm an offensive line guy. I was probably most excited to see him, being that he's the new offensive lineman for the Giants on the right side. He is massive. Evan Neal is massive. Between him and Andrew Thomas, man, Daniel Jones has got his 2 best friends on this football team. And it was cool to see Kayvon Thibodeau and him go head-to-head on at least some reps. And I said it on Twitter after the fact. After I got back from training camp, I thought about it. I'm like, wow, if this was last year, and of course they didn't have training camp last year because of COVID, but if this was last year, or open to the public, I should say, that would have been Nate Solder versus Lorenzo Carter. So it was really cool to see those 2 guys go at it. And I think we're all really excited for those 2 players specifically. And more importantly, I think the new look offense is going to be really exciting. Julian, man, thank you very much, man. I can't believe people wanted to trade Kadarius Toney this past offseason. I believe he will be the focal point of the Kafka offense. That's an interesting point you bring up, Julian. That was mentioned today as well in the post-game press conference, which I think it was by Dable himself, which I kind of expected that Kafka was going to be calling the plays, but it seems like that is what is going to happen. Like, that is cemented now, at least as of now. That I suppose that could change before the year starts, but it looks like Kafka is going to be calling the plays, which I always thought would be the case due to the fact that he was kind of in a really good spot with the Kansas City Chiefs. And why would he leave there when a lot of people were knocking down his door to take on the New York Giants job if he wasn't going to get the opportunity to call the plays? But I'm sure it's going to be collaborative. I'm sure Dable's going to have his fingerprints all over the offense, but it seems like Kafka's going to be calling the plays, as I think he should be as the offensive coordinator. But and I mean, we have to play games first, but Kadarius will shine. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie. Like, when Kadarius didn't show up at voluntary camp, I was not in favor at all of trading for the guy, but I was disappointed. I want my younger players showing up there, especially with a new coach and a new scheme. But at the end of the day, if he performs, I'm going to forget about that real fast. And I think Toney could be really successful. I really do in this offense this year. I really do. I think he could have a pretty good year. I'm not going to say, like, I've seen people throw out like Odell Beckham. I mean, calm down, guys, with the Odell Beckham comments. But I think he could be really good this year for the Giants. Rudy, man. Oh, dude, I missed the member chat. Sorry, man. I was looking at my laptop. I got the member chat here. Sorry, man, Rudy, man. Glad that Rudy, I always say it, man. Rudy, one of the original subscribers, been with me forever. I say it all the time. I remember he was one of the first comments on any one of my videos. He told me he scanned through, I guess he like stumbled across one of my videos and he scanned through YouTube in the search for like an hour, he said, to find my channel. So he's always been a great subscriber of mine. And I'm glad that you're doing well, man. Wishing you well too, buddy, man. And I'm glad to be back, man. And I hope you had a great summer, Rudy. And let me read NY Giants 26 so I don't miss the members chat. It says, stand up, Chris. How was I already read that, actually. I just didn't want to make sure I didn't miss any other member chats. But Rudy, man, I'll read your member chat now, Rudy. I see it. It's different. Tatum, my man, so glad you back on the regular New York Giants football is in the air, and it really smells good. Hope all is well with you and your family. Yeah, man, things are going good, man. I hope everything's going well with you and your family too. Jake, he says, stand up. The Giants posted a highlight vid about camp today, and you were on it for about 1 second, and all the comments were about you. I haven't gotten a chance to see the YouTube video yet, but I did see the picture. If he's in, one of my subscribers on Twitter sent it to me via message, and I'm right next to Sam Prince, or he's like a seat over. That's really cool. And of course, I don't even know I'm being filmed. I'm holding up my phone as my hand is shaking, trying to give you guys some live stream coverage. of the New York Giants practice, and it looks like I'm like taking a selfie of myself. But that was really cool. Yeah, that the New York Giants obviously it was a coincidence, but took a picture of me while I was there. It was really cool. But I'll have to go into the Giants YouTube and see all the comments, man. That'll be funny. But Jake, man, thank you very much. NYG31, what's up, entertainer? How you doing, man? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. I definitely got my pep in my step after today, going to training camp. If you're a fan of the New York Giants, you're surrounded by the energy. Everybody's pumped up going into the year. I don't know how you could leave the facility today not being excited for the upcoming season. And the other thing I'll say is the vibe from the overall vibe for me just felt different. It did. It feels hopeful. Not to say we're expecting anything special this year in terms of a Super Bowl, but it just feels hopeful for a new beginning for the New York Giants. And I'm really looking forward to everything that transpires this year. Kenny, man, what's going on, man? What's going on there, Kingzo? Bill, man, always in here, man, always supporting. Heard Saquon looks leaner. Was saying last year he should get back to that lean and mean look he had his rookie year. A little less bulk may help him. Yeah, man, the one thing that kept standing out for me with Saquon is how I think they're going to use him in this offense, and it's what I expected when they brought in Kafka. I always give credit to Authentic for this. He mentioned it like 2 years ago that they needed to use him more in the offense like an Alvin Kamara, and that's kind of the role that I suspect they're going to use Barkley in this year. I think he's going to get a good amount of carries, though. I'm not saying 20 carries a game, but I think they'll use him maybe 15, 16 carries a game or so because we don't have like an incredible backup running back. But I think he's going to have a lot of catches. I really do. I'm going to make this my bold prediction. And when you make bold predictions, you're usually wrong. It's why it's bold. I'm going to say this. If Barkley plays all year, he is going to lead the Giants in receptions. I didn't say receiving yards. Receptions. That's my bold prediction. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be used a ton in the passing game. That's at least my expectation. And Noah, man, what's going on, man? Let's go Giants, man. Noah's the best, man. Been with me forever. He's got a YouTube channel of his own. Huge Knicks fan, huge basketball fan, always pumping out content, man. And let's go Giants is right, man. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see. Flex, man, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. He says, what's up, Dana? I saw you at the oh, you did? You should have come and said hello. A lot of people came and said hello. It was awesome. Oh, man, that's crazy. We got to link up, man. But no lie, Tony looking good and Saquon looks good, too. I'm not going to lie. Darnay is a monster out there. He may break. Darnay, I'm assuming you're talking about Darnay Holmes. Darnay Holmes, almost, I think he had a minor injury today, but then he got back out on the field. I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking about that, but he got back out on the field. I think there was a minor injury to Wan'Dale Robinson as well that happened later in practice that I didn't notice, but I would assume everything's good there. I didn't hear too much after the fact when I initially read it on Twitter, but those were a couple of things. That's what you're always looking for in training camp. To me, that's always the most important thing. You want to get out of training camp as healthy as possible. And what's up there, Anthony, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Chris, let's go. Another Giants season. What's going on, Lou, man? I hope you guys are pumped up, man. You going to live stream? Yeah, I'm going to live stream every preseason game as long as I can, which I think I will be able to. I plan on live streaming every preseason game with Bad Dog. And I'm sure we'll, throughout the year, we'll do a ton of live streams, midweek, after the game. I got the hiccup. Sorry. I still haven't drank my coffee. As you guys know, this is my first live stream in a while. Generally speaking, the coffee usually goes ice cold. So I'm going to make sure I get a sip or two before I get back to the chat. Dire Giants fan says, how did the O-line look? Again, it's really hard to get a grasp on the O-line. They didn't even have pads on, right? So it's hard to get a grasp on how the O-line really looks going into today. It just is. But what I will say is, because I was watching Evan Neal a lot, Evan Neal definitely held his own. I'll say that for sure. And he was going up against Thibodeau for a wide portion of the practice. I'll say that. But it's hard to get a grasp, right? But once they put the pads on, once they go full contact, that's when I guess you start to get a better idea of how the offensive line looks. We'll get a better look at it in the preseason as well. But it's kind of hard to really get a read, really in general, about the team when you go to a non-contact practice. And I can already tell, like, people on Twitter are going crazy. Daniel Jones. I saw Bobby Skinner posted a video of Daniel Jones actually making what I thought was a good throw. I'm not going to say it was a great throw, but it was a good throw, in which Kenny Golladay dropped the ball, but it was kind of tipped out. And a couple of people were like, it was a little bit behind him. I can already tell. It's the second day of training camp. Daniel Jones hasn't even put the pads on yet, and people are already breathing down his neck. I'm going to give the kid a chance, an opportunity this year to hopefully flourish in the new scheme, but that's to be expected. Year 4, The pressure's on. Make no mistake about it. But like I said, man, it's hard to really get a full grasp of the team in a non-contact practice. What I think you're really looking for is things like, new elements to the scheme, things like that. And Pete the Skeet, man, thank you very much, man. He says, stand up. Happy to see you back, Chris, man. Pete, man, thank you so much, man, for being here, man. I really appreciate it. And Miz, my man, Tana, my brother, GOAT, biggest thing I'm happy about is the leadership. Finally, Tibbs, Neal, two stud young leaders. We needed leaders. Yeah, for sure. And what I will say about this team right now, and let's wait till they produce, but I'm just as excited about those two players as anybody else. Let's wait till they produce. But what I feel like going into this year as opposed to several other years is we have multiple foundational pieces. If you go back to 2019 even, maybe you could argue Saquon at the time because obviously we all had really high hopes from after his rookie season. But other than Saquon, who was the guy that you looked at on that? And Saquon played running back, which isn't like the most important position. Who was the guy on that team after we got rid of everybody that you said those are foundational pieces? Those are guys that I could see being part of a Super Bowl winning football team once this team gets to where they need to be. You couldn't really point to much else. Now you look at this team, Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal, Xavier McKinney. You've got some pieces that you think could be a big part of the future. Potentially a guy like Azeez Ojulari, who looked really good in his rookie season. So we definitely got some good young pieces to build around at some of the most important positions in football, for sure. So I think that has a lot to do with a lot of Giants fans' hope, not necessarily just for this year, but for the foreseeable future. And a template, he says, I think we will see Jones start opening up after game 3. I think we're going to see Jones open up after week 1. I really do. I think the Giants are going to be aggressive this year. Obviously, I expect him to have a little bit of a learning curve. I don't think he's just going to come out there and snap your fingers and he's going to look incredible. But I think this year, Dable and Kafka are going to let Daniel Jones go out there and throw the football. And if he loses them the game, he loses them the game. If he wins them the game, he wins them the game. They're going to let him decide whether or not we win football games this year, at least on the offensive end. I could see us having struggles on the defensive end. We'll talk about that throughout the stream. But I don't, obviously depending on opponent, you're going to go in with different game plans week to week. But I think the Giants they're going to let him off the leash, man. They're going to let Daniel Jones sling the rock this year. And we'll see. We'll see what it results in terms of wins and losses. But I think week 1, man. I think week 1, Daniel Jones is going to go out there and he's going to be throwing the football. It's going to be a much different looking offense this year. I really believe that. Let's see. And Zahaib, he says, swing by the Jets-Giants game. I'll be there. I'll try to make it to you're talking about the preseason game. I'll try to make it to there. There was a couple of Jets fans at Giants training camp today. I was like, what the hell are they doing here? What's going on there, A Boogie, man? Good to see you here, man. And Jonathan says, man, am I pumped for Evan Neal. Heard he might give our first team D-line the work. Yeah, Jonathan, I read the quotes after the fact. Leonard Williams came out and talked about how good Evan Neal looks and how excited he is as a football player, what he sees in him, and how basically saying iron strengthens iron, and how he thinks Evan Neal is going to be an absolute monster this year for the New York Giants. The other guy I'll mention is Leonard Williams. I took a picture of him. You don't realize how big these guys are until you're like that close up in person. Leonard Williams is huge. He was right next to Blake Martinez. And Blake Martinez looks significantly smaller than Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is gigantic. He's jacked out of his mind. And he looks like he's in great shape. And I think Leo's going to have a big year. I really do. I think Leo's going to have a big year this year. I'm excited for Leonard Williams this year. 10-7 playoff bound. Relax, man. We have some hogs. You're damn right we do. Bookend tackles, man. Thanks for the positive outlook. What's going on, Mike Gorger, man? Thanks for popping in, man. Predicting Pro Bowl year from Leo. I hope so, Miz. I really do. A Boogie says, how did Tibbs do today? Yeah, Tibbs didn't do much, but at the same time, there's no pads. It's almost like walkthroughs. But yeah, I didn't notice too much from Tibbs. Another guy that a lot of people talked about was Richie James, the kick returner. The way that the Giants used him, it looks like they're going to get somewhat creative with him. I expect him to make the team, if for nothing else, his ability to return kicks. He was a guy that kind of stood out to a lot of fans in the crowd today. A lot of people were talking about him. I'll mention him. Like I said, Colin Johnson in terms of the back-end wide receivers. But there were a lot of drops. Darius Slayton specifically had one really bad drop. Golladay was tough to tell from my vantage point on that throw. I couldn't tell. I think it was Julian Love whether or not he poked it out or whether or not Golladay dropped it. But Darius Slayton specifically had a really bad drop. How does Dable look to control the team? Well, I don't. To me, Dable just has a completely different vibe than Joe Judge. Joe Judge to me was, and listen, we all bought into it. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us as Giants fans bought into it. We were all excited about it. It was an old school vibe. He had that. He almost had like that militaristic approach. That's not Dable, and you could tell that from day one. That's not Dable. He seems like a player's coach, and the players seem to like him. We'll see, but it's night and day as far as Joe Judge goes. But we'll see, man. I'm not going to judge Dable until we see how the team performs throughout the year. But so far, so good. He's been well received, it seems. But you would expect that going into his first season as the new head coach for the New York Giants. Let's see. Love poked it out. Yeah, like I said, from my vantage point, it was hard to see whether or not he poked it out or whether or not Golladay dropped it. What's going on, Card Coach, man? Thanks for popping in. How likely is Barkley to actually be re-signed? Well, I think that's one of the biggest storylines going into the year in terms of players that potentially may or may not be re-signed, whether it be Barkley, whether it be Daniel Jones. I think those are the two players that you're looking at. I think it's possible, but he's got to have a big year and he's got to stay healthy for 17 games. And then it's going to come down to dollars and cents and what his market is. But I don't even think Joe Schoen is entertaining extending him until such time that he can prove that he is the Saquon Barkley of 2018 and can stay healthy for a full year. If he could do that, sure, it's a possibility. I would prefer it to not be a 4-year contract based off his injury history, maybe a 3-year deal with the ability to get out after 2. But he's got to prove himself, right? He's got to prove himself. He's got to have a big year. He's got to prove that he can stay healthy. But I'm rooting for him. You guys know if you watch my channel, I love Saquon Barkley. And I hope he has a big bounce back season. I really do. Adam says, KT looked happy out there with the fans. Love to see it. I'm assuming you're talking about Tony. Yeah, I saw him taking a bunch of pictures with, I think it was Wan'Dale Robinson during training camp. So, yeah, man, he looked like he was enjoying himself. A lot of the players looked like they were enjoying themselves, which is good to see. Julian says, hard to say without pads, but how did Aaron Robinson look? Hope he takes the cornerback 2 spot. I think, yeah, I was trying to watch Aaron Robinson a bit because I do think he's one. I actually came out with a list of the 10 most, in my opinion, the 10 most important Giants this year on Twitter. And I think I had him ranked 5th. I think he's super important this year to this New York Giants football team because we all know this defense is going to rely on really strong cornerback play with as much as I think Wink's going to want to blitz. So I did have my eye out on him throughout the practice. And I will say some of the highlights I saw from the first practice I was not at. His coverage looked fairly good. Do I think there's going to be a bit of a learning curve for him? 100%. Do I think teams are going to look to pick on him from the start of the season? Absolutely. You have an experienced cornerback with Adoree Jackson on the other side. They're going to go after the guy that has not played in terms of on the outside in the NFL quite yet. So I think that's going to be what is perceived to be our weakness going into the year. And he's going to have to step up. But yeah, today, I didn't know. Yeah, he didn't stand out in a bad way. Let's put it that way. I thought his coverage was decent when I watched him. He didn't stand out in a bad way. What's going on, Roldy, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy. Let's see what we got. But I think he is so important to this team this year, Aaron Robinson. King Trizzy says, Joker going to break out this year. Let's go, G-Men. Let's go, G-Men is right, man. And thank you so much, Trizzy, for being here, man. Tommy B, I mentioned him briefly. Tyrod Taylor looked good, but again, much like it's hard to, first off, it's not a padded practice. Second off, he's going up against second stringers. And yeah, he has second stringers with him. But what I will say, Taylor looked very good. He looked confident that he actually had a couple of design runs that he ran. I thought Taylor looked really good. But again, with the second unit, but he looked good. He did look good, man. He looked good today. Tommy, man, thank you very much. Bill M says, which group worries you more, the cornerbacks or the linebackers? Cornerbacks, not even close. Linebackers definitely worries me, specifically the interior, not so much the outside linebacker, but the interior definitely worries me with Blake Martinez coming off the injury, but he's not even on the pup. So it looks like he's going to play from the start of the season. But definitely cornerback. And just the secondary as a whole worries me a hell of a lot more than the linebacker position. And I know we're thin there with Crowder, and then we have 2 rookies, one of which I think was drafted in the 5th and the 6th round. I think it was maybe the 4th and the 6th round. So I'm definitely not sold on our linebackers, but no, the cornerbacks and the secondary as a whole is, definitely a much bigger concern for me this year. To me, that like last year, Bill, and I remember we were talking about it leading into the season, and you and several other people, it was clearly the offensive line was the biggest worry that I had. this year it's definitely the cornerback play, far and away. And even if Aaron Robinson plays well, which I'm praying he does, we're still so thin. Like if Adoree Jackson goes down, what do you got? I mean, you're sticking out Cordell Flott as your second cornerback, a mid to late third round rookie, and then you can have Aaron Robinson be the one. So I think we're so thin there. I think that's far and away the thing I'm most worried about going into the year. But hopefully they step up, man. Manuel, man, thank you very much, man. Hi from LA, Chris. Going to the Rams camp on Saturday with my OBJ New York jersey. Early prediction: Philly, New York, Dallas, and Washington. And Dallas firing McCarthy at the bye. Wow. So you are tight end spot, Rolly. There's gonna be a lot of battles at the tight end spot. Bellinger was getting reps with the one today. Should have said that too. He was getting a lot of reps with the ones. So you think Dallas is gonna completely fall apart? Listen, Dallas has had a lot of turnover. I mean, their offensive line should be worse this year. Obviously, they lost to Amari Cooper. They've had a lot of turnover. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to sleep on Dallas. I just don't want to sleep on them. But I don't think they're a great team. But we'll see. McCarthy could very well be fired though if they miss the playoffs this year. I wouldn't be shocked at all. They have obviously a coach on their team right now that they're probably mentoring to be their offensive coordinator. They're mentoring to be the future head coach more than likely. What is the one thing that Joe Schoen has done that you thumbs down? I mean, Joe Schoen, if we're being honest, hasn't done much yet, right? He did what I wanted him to do, but that was not doing much this offseason. We didn't have any cap space. He didn't backload any salaries. So, I mean, if I wanted to nitpick, I guess I could say I didn't necessarily love that he backloaded the Adoree Jackson contract a bit, but obviously I understood why. You had to fill out the rest of this roster. There's really I'm not going to say I'm in love with anything he's done yet, because if we're being fair and honest, I could have picked those two players at 5 and 7. He was granted two, great picks. I'm thrilled that he made them, and Giants fans are thrilled that they made him too. So I'm not going to go, head over heels in love with the guy until such time I see how these players develop, specifically the 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks. But I don't think he's done anything, at least as of now, that I could think of off the top of my head that I thought was egregious. I'm trying to think, man. There's not much, but to be fair, Sam, he hasn't really had much of a body of work. I'm sure he's going to do some things that we don't like. And maybe if you want to be nitpicky, you didn't like maybe a specific player he took in the draft. But for me, once you get out of the first round, you got to give these guys an opportunity to see how they play and what, in what the New York Giants are trying to do on both sides of the football. So I'll wait. I'm going to wait another year before I start to nitpick at some of what his faults. There's nothing I can really think of off the top of my head that I thought has been horrible so far. But to be fair, he hasn't really had an opportunity to screw up. It's not like he inherited a team where he had a ton of cap space and he went out there and he signed a ton of players to a lot of big contracts. He didn't. He sat on his cap space, which he should have done. Nader, man, thank you very much, man. Is that yeah, it is. Is that the throwback jersey, Chris? Rich? Yes. Here. I know, guys. I know, Nader. It's risky. It's risky. I'm going with the rookie. But no, yeah, it's a throwback, man. And they're beautiful. I love the throwback jerseys. The second that I saw that the throwback jerseys came out, man, I had to get one, man. I was like, oh my God. And what better player to get than Kayvon Thibodeaux, man. I know we're all jacked up to see him. And I'm getting an Evan Neal jersey. I'm getting an Evan Neal jersey soon too, man. And Lewis, he says, we saw you in the Giants YouTube video. All the comments. I got to go to the Giants YouTube video, man. I saw the picture. Mizrahi was kind enough to, screenshot it and send it to me on Twitter. I saw the picture. I haven't checked out the video yet. I'll definitely go over there and drop a comment after the stream. But that's really cool, man. And I did see the picture. It looks like I'm taking a selfie of myself. But what I'm really doing is filming the practice for you guys. My hand was shaking the whole time. I got to get like a selfie stick or something for Tuesday. But that's what I was doing. I was filming the practice for you guys. But yeah, man, that's really funny, man. And Yuri says, where's the selfie from the Giants? Evan, I was not able to get a selfie. I do have a picture with Bobby, and I'm going to be doing a show with Bobby on Tuesday. We weren't able to do it today. I do have a picture with Bobby, but I was not able to get a picture with Evan Neal. Hopefully Tuesday I get a picture with Evan Neal. That'd be awesome, man. And Blue Collar, what's up, man? Hey, and after your first look, give us Tana's first bold prediction of the year. Well, I gave a bold prediction before you stepped in. I said Saquon Barkley is going to lead the team in receptions. And some guys are going to go back on this live stream and go, "Oh, Chris, how did you say that?" Blah blah blah. No, but that's my bold prediction. Saquon Barkley is going to be used heavily in the passing game, and he's actually going to lead the team in receptions if he can stay healthy the whole year. What I saw in the practice today is exactly what I expected in terms of Saquon Barkley in this offense. They motioned him out a ton in the passing game, and I think they're going to use him. I think they're going to use him not even, what we were accustomed to in his first year, right? He had 92 catches, but the majority of those were checkdowns. They were kind of like third read throws for Eli Manning. I think there's going to be designed routes for Saquon Barkley. Like, he's going to be a primary option on a lot of these passing routes for the New York Giants. I think they're going to use him a ton, and they're going to try to use him to create mismatches against linebackers and such in the passing game. But yeah, I guess that's my first bold prediction. Saquon Barkley is gonna have a ton of catches this year for the New York Giants. Another bold prediction. Let's see. I'll have to get back on you. I'll have to get back to you with another bold prediction. But that's my first bold prediction. Saquon Barkley's gonna have a ton of catches this year. Let's see. Zahib says, Chris, what's your PO drop? Zahib, I do not have a PO box. I should get one. But if you message me on Twitter, every once in a while people ask me, I'll give you, we'll talk. If you follow me on Twitter, we'll talk. By the way, I am gonna have some merch coming out. I've never pushed merch. I'm not even really pushing it. But I had a subscriber of mine I thought came up with a couple of really cool designs, and he volunteered to make the shirts for me. So be on the lookout for that too. I should have a couple of Entertainer merches. I'll probably have like a red hoodie with the Entertainer logo. So be on the lookout for that too, man. You remind me with the merch comment. But I don't have a PO box address. I should get one though. Maybe I will get one this year. MY Giants 26 says it's sent, Chris. See if you got it. I will. All right. As soon as the stream's over, MY Giants 26, I'm gonna check it out and I'll let you know on Twitter. Ryan Cannon says, think about it. This was the way the corners cannot. Matter of fact, I'll check right now, just so you're aware. No, I don't have. You must have the wrong email address, man, because I'm not getting it. Last email I got was a car insurance from autoinsurance.com. So you must have the wrong email address. I will type it in again. That's my email address. Ryan Cannon says, think about it. This way the corners cannot be worse than 2018 with B.W. Webb and a washed Jackrabbit. Yeah, but I don't want them to. But yeah, I mean, maybe you're right, but they in the defense that we're gonna run, unless Wink makes adjustments, our corners got to be really good. I mean, if you're gonna blitz as much as the New York Giants are gonna blitz, our corners have to be really good. They got to be a lot better than 2018 Jackrabbit and B.W. Webb. Otherwise, this defense is gonna run into some trouble. The good news, though, and I've said it, I think in my expectation video before the year started, the good news is we're not going up against good quarterbacks this year. We're just not. Outside of Dak Prescott, they're going to throw a lot. And outside of Aaron Rodgers, we're not really going up against a quarterback that's going to throw the ball a whole lot. Lamar Jackson's a really good quarterback, but he's at least as deadly in terms of his running attack. Same could be said for a guy like Jalen Hurts. We're not going up against, high-powered aerial assaults. Let's put it that way. So maybe the New York Giants can get by with a mediocre secondary. Hopefully they can, but we are not going to have a crisp defense if our cornerbacks come out like that. John, man, thank you very much, man. Damn, Chris, I started wondering where you haven't seen your content in so long. Welcome back. How does DJ look? And you think we're getting Donovan soon? Yeah, John, I just need to take a break, man. I use the time to try to get in shape. I'm still trying to get in shape, but I've been dropping some LBs, and I was applying a couple of other jobs that I'm trying to do on the side. So I wanted to enjoy the summer, man. I took a couple of months off when there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. So I figured I'd come back when it was football season. And it's football season now. Training camp's underway. So I'm excited to be back and talk Giants with you. As far as how did DJ look, listen, I thought DJ, did he have a couple of throws that, he threw into a crowd? Sure. Absolutely. It's day 2 of training camp without the pads and a new scheme. I'm not going to go crazy. Good or bad, by the way. They're not blitzing. You're not seeing a real defense. I'm not going to get too high or too low off of the second practice, not in pads. I did notice that they rolled Daniel Jones out 2 or 3 times. He made one really nice throw. I wish I got it on camera. It was after the live stream ended, where it was a designed rollout, and he rolled probably half the field to the right, and going against his body, he threw an absolute rocket down the sideline. So he definitely made a couple of really nice throws today. But yeah, he made a couple of questionable throws as well. I don't think he threw an interception, but he had a couple of batted balls. But it's early, man. It's early. And do you think we're getting Donovan soon? Yeah, I think we will be getting Donovan Mitchell. All signs point to that. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to be a Knick. It's just a matter of when. And I think it's incredibly possible. What's going on, Betty Man? Thanks for popping in. I think it's incredibly possible that the Knicks already have a deal done with the Jazz, and they're kind of waiting for a third team. I think that's very possible. I don't know that for a fact, but yes, I think ultimately it will get done. It's just annoying that it's taking so long. T, what's going on? Welcome back, #1 Giants YouTuber. Please let us know when you plan the live stream because I hate to miss them. Can't wait for everything from now on. Yeah, T. Every time I go to training camp, I'm probably gonna do a live stream after I get back. So I'm going Tuesday, the Tuesday after that. So the next 2 Tuesdays, I'll probably be live. And I haven't talked to Bad Dog yet, but Talking Giants is going to be live on this channel this week. I don't know what day yet, but it's going to be live Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one of those days. So be on the lookout. But I'll be live around 9:45, 10 o'clock for that. And I'll be live at night recapping the training camps that I went to over the next 2 Tuesdays. So there you go. And in season, I'm going to be live a ton. Hey, man, what's going on, man? I think Love might have a breakout year. Thoughts? I like Love. I like Love in this defense. And he's going to get an expanded role. So I could definitely see that. I'm excited for Belton, too, though. Dane Belton's dad, and I didn't really get to see Belton out there too much today. Dane Belton's dad actually messaged me on Twitter. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But no, I'm excited for Belton, too. I think he's a guy that could really fit this defense, too, from what you read about him. Some of the highlights you saw seems like a guy that could do a lot of different things. And it's kind of the same thing with Julian Love. It's why I think he fits this defense very well. And now he's really going to get an opportunity to play a defined position from the start of the year in which he gets the start. So I could see Julian Love having a nice year for the Giants. I agree with that, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to be in the long-term plans more than likely, but I could be wrong because if he has a good year, I think he'll sign somewhere else. We have a lot of young players that could kind of play his position, Belton being one of them, McKinney being another. But I could see Julian Love having a really nice year, Abe. NY Giants 26 says, it was my connection. I apologize, Chris. Sent. Okay, I got it now. And I will look when I get an opportunity after the stream. I will look at it. V-Man says, Chris, top 5 defensive unit nicknames of all time. Oh, my God. Off the top of my head, I mean, you've got what were these? The Purple People Eaters. That's one that always sticks out to me. The Minnesota Vikings in the 70s. You've got the Steel Curtain. That's got to be one of them, right? That's an infamous name. The Legion of Boom, maybe the Seahawks secondary. That's definitely up there. Yeah, that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a couple of others. The Crunch Bunch, absolutely. The Crunch Bunch, yes. The Crunch Bunch has to be on there. Big Blue Wrecking Crew. That's kind of like a team nickname, but I guess it refers more to the defense. So yeah, I'll go with that too. Of course, I'm a Giants fan. I gotta put them in there. NASCAR Package was a package. It wasn't really a nickname, but I guess it was. I guess it was a nickname. Yeah, but just off the top of my head, those are some famous nicknames. The New York Sack Exchange, that was the Jets, of course, yes. Mike Nixon says, I can't wait to meet you. Dude, can't wait, man. It was a blast to get to meet so many subscribers today at the event, man. And Mike, looking forward to getting to meet you at FanFest, along with, Bobby, Justin, license plate guy, everybody else. Steel Curtain's got to be up there, man. Chris, where did you buy the KT jersey? The Fearsome Foursome, that's not a bad one. I bought the KT jersey on online. I saw an ad for it, I think on Twitter. I just clicked it, and I see Authentics in the chat. He's like, how did you not get the Stitch one? I just saw the jersey. I'm like, I love it. I clicked it. I bought it. That's it, man. I guess I'm like impulsive. But yeah, the jersey just popped out to me. I said, I'm getting a Thibodeau jersey. When it first came out, and I think it's on, you could probably get it on Giants.com or Fanatic. I don't know. But when it first came out, they actually didn't have the Thibodeau. You had to pay an extra $40 to get it customized. And then like 3 days later, I guess because of demand from the fans, they came out with the Thibodeau. And now you could buy that in this. And I think it was like $125 before tax. Abe says RD should be called the Black and Blue Crew. Not bad. That's pretty good. I like it. But I think people always refer to it as Big Blue Wrecking Crew though. He says, yeah, I love Authentic, man. I love the jersey, man. Man, Chris, I was thinking, wow, Chris, you got a 99 Collins jersey. Well, yeah, number 5, right? That's what you initially think, man. I actually have a Collins jersey. I was going through my old clothes like a month ago, and I had my Kerry Collins jersey. I have a ton. I was going through all my old Giants jerseys, right, from like that era. I had a Michael Barrow. I had a Kerry Collins. I had a Tiki Barber. I'm Matthias Kiwanuka, even though that was a little bit after that era. Amani Toomer. Well, actually, one of my subscribers gave me an Amani Toomer. But yeah, man. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Do you believe Leo will be maybe you mean cut in 2023? I don't remember Leonard Williams' contract off the top of my head. Let me take a quick look at it. I know we save a lot if we cut him next year. Let me see. Leonard Williams next year, if we cut him, which I hope we don't, because I think he's really good, would save us $18 million. He's due to make 26.3. I think it's going to come down to the way he plays, man. If Leonard Williams doesn't have a big year, yeah, he could be a casualty to save $18 million. If he has a big year and the Giants need to create some flexibility, which maybe they will, maybe they won't, and they want to keep him here for a few more years, maybe you work out an extension and sort out the money that way to give yourself a little bit more cap flexibility on 2023. But if he plays really well, I don't want to get rid of Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams is a very good football player. I know a lot of Giants fans don't like the contract, but it's going to come down to how he plays this year. Let's see. We're starting the season 2-0. The Titans are cooked. You know, there was a couple people in the crowd today talking me into beating the Titans because I don't think we're going to beat them. I keep saying I don't like the matchup. It's on the road. You've got a very experienced football team. Vrabel's been coaching there for a long time. We got a brand new head coach. We're learning on both sides of the ball. I just don't like the matchup. But people are like, Chris, look at the Titans, man. They lost A.J. Brown. They're a run-first football team. Yeah, easier said than done. You got to stop Derrick Henry. I'm not buying it, man. I'm praying they win. I just don't like the matchup. I will say I don't think they're going to blow us out. I don't think they're going to throw all over us. But I think it's going to be one of those annoying games as a Giant fan that Derrick Henry in like the late third, early fourth quarter breaks off like a big run. I think they're going to wear down our defense over the course of the game. But obviously I hope I'm wrong. And I hope the New York Giants blow them out. I don't love that matchup week one. Chris Bass says, entertaining. I literally just saw it. I know. I got to check out the comments after. Everybody keeps saying it, man. Let's see. Wink knows how to stop Henry. We'll see. The one thing I will say, though, and I think Justin brought this up, actually, maybe you get a limited Henry because it's his first game back. He suffered an injury last year. He missed half the season. So maybe you don't get a 25-carry Henry. Maybe they try to limit his touches a little bit at the start of the season. Wishful thinking, but maybe that'll be the case. Let's see. Giants will never have an individual squad nickname. We play and always have been named as a whole. Yeah, for sure. I see your messages, Nor'easter, man. What's going on, man? What game are you going to? As of now, I think the plan with Bad Dog is the Bears game, and I think it makes the most sense. I initially said the Cowboys game, but I just think it's more convenient for fans to go to a Sunday day game as opposed to a Monday night game, even though I'd probably be more amped up for the Cowboys game. I just think it makes more sense from like a tailgate perspective to go to the Sunday game. People obviously work, right? So Sunday, 1 o'clock, I think it is against the Bears. I think that's the plan right now for the first game I plan on going to. Blake says, maybe I missed it, but what are your thoughts on the secondary? And do we add someone after the roster cuts? Blake, I think our secondary, I don't want to say the word sucks because they could surprise, but I think our secondary is highly questionable, and I'm very worried about it. I'll say that right now. I'm really excited about McKinney. I'll tell you that. I think McKinney could have a great year, but overall, I'm really nervous about our secondary. I think that's the weakest part of our football team. As far as adding someone to the roster, I think we will. I think we're going to add a veteran corner at some point, but I don't think he's going to start. I think it's going to be like a veteran that we bring in to provide his depth. I think this year, Joe Shane and Brian Dable are trying to find out what they have in terms of their young talent at the position, and they're going to let the young guys battle it out. But I definitely think we could add a veteran at that position, but I don't expect him to be a starter. I think it's going to be a Dory Jackson and one of the young guys. Obviously, Aaron Robinson start, and depending on how he plays, potentially Flood or somebody else. But yeah, I think we'll add a veteran, but I don't think he'll start. I'm hoping for an offensive battle, especially since our offense should show a huge improvement, especially under the new coaching staff. See us stopping the Titans. Don't see us stopping the Titans offense. Yeah, listen, we may not win a ton of games this year. Hopefully we do. But here's what I will say. I think we're going to be a lot more fun to watch. I think we're going to put up more points. I think you're going to see a better offense this year. And that is what I think a lot of Giants fans are looking forward to. And we're going to be aggressive on both sides of the ball. Sometimes you're going to be pissed off with how aggressive we are because Daniel Jones will throw a really bad interception or we'll give up an 80-yard touchdown, but we're going to be really aggressive on both sides of the ball. Matthew says, who has been the most impressive at camp so far in your opinion? I mean, listen, I was only there today. I wasn't there the first day. I mean, most people are telling you Kadarius Toney. Toney looked good to me today, for sure. I think Toney has probably been the biggest standout so far at camp. Overall, Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson. I think both those receivers have been standouts so far at camp. He definitely stood out to me today in terms of the way that they were using him, his route running ability, his ability to create separation. I think both those guys have stood out. And I think both those guys are going to be big time parts of the New York Giants offense this year. So I'll say those two players. But from a physical standpoint, it's Evan Neal. Let's see. Offense definitely needs to take a lot more chances. We're going to. It just may result in a lot more turnovers. What did you see out of Kenny Golladay? Golladay caught one long pass. He caught a crossing pattern over the middle for maybe about 30, 40 yards. He did have a drop, though, but I think it was punched out by Julian Love. He looked okay. You know, I don't necessarily think his routes were incredibly crisp, but you don't really expect that from Kenny Golladay. He's more of a 50-50 guy. But he looked all right to me. He looked all right. KT snagging balls. What's going on, Anthony, man? Thanks for popping in, man. Tony Robinson and Barkley all will have. I hope so. Did you get to see our rookie? Yes. As a matter of fact, John, the first group that really started practicing in front of me was the tight end group. They were just catching balls from like 10-yard passes. But yeah, Bellinger actually ran, I think, exclusively with the first team offense. I think he was definitely out there with the first team offense a lot. So yeah, I did see Bellinger and he's good to go. He looks completely healthy and he was running with the first team offense. Let's see. Sorry, Chris, what are your thoughts of Donovan Mitchell trade? Yeah, I'm going to be, if the Knicks trade Donovan Mitchell, I'll definitely have a video out on that. Trade for Donovan Mitchell. And this year, I definitely plan to do a lot more Knicks live streams. It was just kind of during a time in my life where I wanted to take a break from YouTube. It had nothing to do with the way the Knicks were playing. But this upcoming season, I don't know if I'm going to do every game like I did 2 years ago, but I plan on doing a lot of Knicks games next year. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully I get some, more Knicks content up on the channel. Dylan says, realistically, we win 7 games minimum. I'm not saying that. That's where I have us. That's my prediction. I have us winning 7 games. I'm not saying that's minimum. I've learned. I've learned from my mistakes, man. Listen, the New York Giants are constantly injured. They got to prove to me they can stay healthy. So if they stay healthy, I think 7 wins is appropriate for sure. But if last year taught us anything, man, I mean, no, I don't think 7's minimum. I think they'll win 6 or 7, but they could certainly win less than 7. And I would love. Yo, what's going on, Anthony? Man, thanks for popping in, man. Chris, are you going to let Bad Dog hear it? Mets swept by the Yankees. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna rag on Yankees fans. We still got a lot to prove. But I was excited. I posted on Twitter. I don't care if Yankee fans get upset at me. They get upset at me. I'm a Met fan. I was excited, man. We beat the Yankees. But the Yankees are still really good. And I think there's a good chance you might see a Subway Series this year. Would you fantasy draft any Giants? Yes. Late, though. Barkley not too late. I don't know where he's going in fantasy drafts, but I'm probably going to draft Barkley. I like Barkley a lot, and he's my favorite player on the team, so I'm probably going to take him. But outside of Barkley, in terms of like late round guys, Toney, of course, for sure. He's got high upside, and maybe a late last round flyer, maybe a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson. Dylan, man, thank you very much, man. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if we win 4 games like last year. Nothing would surprise me with this team. Nothing would surprise me. I don't think so, though. I think our floor is higher than 4 this year. I think I'm going to set our floor at 5. That's where I'd set our floor. For the simple reason, 2 reasons. 1, our schedule is much softer than it was last year. Much softer. 2, if Daniel Jones gets hurt, you are not seeing near the drop-off in quarterback play that we saw last year. Tyrod Taylor could come in and be respectable, and he could still beat teams like the Houston Texans. He could still beat teams like the Detroit Lions. So I'm going to set our minimum. I think the floor is 5. That's where I put our floor. I think our floor is slightly higher than last year for the simple reason we have a dramatic upgrade at the backup quarterback, and we play a softer schedule. So I would set if everything goes wrong, I would set our floor at 5. Let's see. And yeah, the O-line, of course, should be much better. Blake says if Darnay was 6'1", he would be a serious out. Yeah. Let's see. Who you want to see the Mets pursue at the deadline? Relief pitch. Dave Robertson for sure, but relief pitching, man. Relief pitching and a righty hitter. Mancini, but I don't think the Orioles are going to trade him now. Let's see. Ryu says Darnay did play outside in college. Yeah, but we drafted him to play in the slot in the pros. Chris, I do, Anthony, but I don't do it religiously. During the pandemic, I did it a lot more because I was bored. And I do enjoy it for sure, but no, I don't do it enough where I think I would be able to create a channel. Bad Dog does. Bad Dog's big into that. Are you going to do a pick'em this year? I'm going to do weekly picks. I don't know if I'm going to do a pick'em, but I'm definitely going to do weekly picks. We'll see. What's up, Chris? How you been, my guy? And go Giants. And are you going to? Yes, I'm definitely going to week 4. He says coaching was terrible the last 2 years. Have aggressive coaches now. O-line clicks. 10 wins. Yeah, I think 10 wins is probably my best case scenario for this team this year. I think that's best case. I'm not predicting that. And that is, it's dependent on Daniel Jones. But obviously, that is also dependent on the offensive line. If the offensive line is better, it's going to allow Daniel Jones to be better. But it's dependent on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has to be good for the Giants to win 10 games. But if he is, yeah, it's at least possible we could win 10 games. I like Dane Belton Authentic. Sup, Chris? How was training? I was awesome, man. I can't wait to go back on Tuesday. Is Aziz still wearing a red jersey? Aziz didn't, to my knowledge, and I was looking for him. I don't think Aziz was out there, and if he was not, he's hurt, obviously. I didn't see him, though. But maybe he was, or maybe he was back in the training facility rehabbing. I didn't see him. But, you know, I was sitting in a certain point where I couldn't see the whole field. Why am I in the Giants highlights? I mean, ask the Giants, man. Either A, they know who I am, which is very unlikely. B, they just said this guy is way too good looking, which is very unlikely. Or C, I just randomly got filmed, just like everybody else. I think that was probably it. Blake says, how do you think DJ is adapting to the Kafka offense? I mean, I don't know, man. I can't tell that from a practice without the pads and everything else. But I think he would. I think here's what I think is going to happen. And I've thought it all along. I think you're going to see a lot of plays where the New York Giants are going to hit the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands quick. They're going to get it to Wan'Dale Robinson quick. They're going to try to create quick separation, whether it be pre-snap motion, crossing pattern. Same thing with Kadarius Toney, Saquon Barkley. They're going to get it in the ball maker's hands, the playmaker's hands rather, quick. And let them do the work. I think that's going to be the plan. Obviously, we'll take shots here and there, but I think the Giants are going to make it. They're going to make it so they don't want Daniel Jones to think too much. Read, react, make the throw, get it to your playmakers in space. That's what I think a lot of this offense is going to be. Did I lose weight? Yes. I'm not near my goal. If you were in Bad Dog Stream, a lot of you guys may not have been. I weighed way too much. I woke up one day. I went on the scale. I said, my face was like this when I read the scale. I felt like Kelvin Benjamin. I felt like Kelvin Benjamin last year when I read the scale. The scale was 249. I said to myself, Chris, it's time to get off the Kelvin Benjamin diet. And since then, I've lost 32 pounds. I'm down to 217. And my ultimate goal is 170. I want to get in the best shape of my life. So got a long way to go. Not even halfway there yet, but so far so good. Bill says 10 wins. Gonna take some time for Joe to dig us out of this mess. Gettleman left. I ain't predicting. I'm 5'11", Nick. I ain't predicting 10 wins. I'm predicting 7. That's my predictions. I'm saying if everything goes right, which I'm not predicting. And Council says 170. You got this. Yeah, I hope so, man. It's been a lot of not eating when I want, and a lot of exercise. But man, once you get in the routine, I enjoy it. Ray says, I hear Neal looks ridiculously good. I mean, it's possible. I mean, Rashawn Slater, I think, was a Pro Bowl in his rookie year. I'm not going to go as far to predict that, but I think he's going to be really good. Maybe he struggles the first couple of weeks, kind of like Andrew Thomas did, but I think he's going to be really good. I was in love with the pick when the Giants made it. I think he's going to be a near immediate impact player. I think he's going to be really good. I'm not going to go as far as Yeah, I'm not going to go as far to say Pro Bowl in his first year, but he's going to be a big-time contributor on this line. Council, I'm guessing that his Council is a big channel. He's got a check mark next to him. So thank you for popping in, man. Slink says, yo, that jersey is sweet. They need to make that new uni. Yeah, I'm kind of getting hot in the jersey. I got a Giant shirt underneath. Maybe I'll take this off, but I had to rep it for you guys. You can tell, so congrats. I appreciate it, man. Jake says, I've been pumping to gain weight. I'm to 161 from 150 in 2 months. Meet you in the middle. Jake, what if you're trying to get to like 180? Yeah, I'll lose 20. You gain 20. We'll switch that way. I want to get to 170, and then I want to start pumping weight, maybe get back up to 180. But the initial goal is 170. Chris, losing weight is easy. I lost 72 pounds, but gained it back in 2 years. Well, hopefully I don't gain it back. And Dave, man, what's going on, man? He says, good for you, Chris, man. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. Jay says, I think Neal will be above average for show, but he could be a Pro Bowl offensive tackle out of the gate. It's possible. Do I think Barkley will get 1,000 yards this year? John, again, bold, super bold. My bold prediction. This is like my bold times 2 prediction. Saquon Barkley has over 2,000 scrimmage yards this year. Does what he did in his rookie season in an extra game. 17 games. Of course, he's got to stay healthy. I am a big believer in Saquon this year. And I could be completely wrong. When you put your opinions out there, half the time, more than half the time, sometimes you'll be wrong. But I'm a big believer in Saquon this year. I think he's going to have a big year. Big year. Did you hear about Aziz being on the PUP? Yes, I did. It was non-football. He's technically not on the PUP, but he's injured and he can't practice right now. So, yes, I think it was an off-the-field injury. It has to do with his hamstring. Let's see. Do you think Tony could be a wide receiver 1? Well, what's your definition of a wide receiver 1? Like, what's your definition of a wide receiver 1? Because my definition of a wide receiver 1 is like a top 7 or 8 receiver in the entire NFL. That to me is a number 1. Like you could be like Mooney on the Bears is their number 1, but he's not a number 1. Not to me. Like a number 1 is like a top 7, 8, 9 receiver. I mean, he could. He's got talent, but he's got a long way to go before I'm willing to say that about him. But I think he's going to be much better this year. Let's put it that way. Depressed Giants fan says, how we feeling? We ready for Giants football, man? I can't wait, man. I can't wait. What's up there, Chris Gonzalez, man? Steve says, I totally agree with that. Saquon, 2,000 all-purpose yards. Let's go, man. Do you think Daniel Jones will have his best year? Yes. Yes. I still don't know if it'll be good enough. But yes. I think Daniel Jones will have his best year as a pro. Maybe I'm too optimistic. I don't know. I mean, all signs to me point to that he should be better this year. He's got a much better play caller. He now has 2 good tackles. He adds another weapon in Robinson. Tony's in year 2. Galladay's got a year. Yes, I think it will be Daniel. He's got to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing for me. He's got to stay healthy. But yes, I think you will see and again, I don't know if this version is going to be good enough for me to say I want to push forward with Daniel Jones. But I think we will see the best version of Daniel Jones this year in a New York Giants uniform. Yes. Is that being too optimistic? Flip? Is that being too optimistic? Okay, so what are we comparing this to? Before people say I'm too optimistic, Daniel Jones in his rookie year had like the most turnovers ever in like NFL history on a per game basis in terms of lost fumbles. And his last 2 years, he's thrown like a combined 22 touchdowns and he's missed like 9 games. So is it too optimistic for me to think Daniel Jones will be better than that? Like Daniel Jones's best isn't necessarily incredible, but do I think he's going to be better than that? I do. I don't think that's crazy to think he could do that. Let's see what we got. Blake says, considering we may have an offensive line finally, would you prefer DJ playing at a Tannehill level for a decade behind them? Oh, no, definitely not. Tannehill's not good enough for me in terms of being a franchise quarterback. No. He's got to be better than that. You got to be better than that to be a 10-year commitment. To me, Tannehill's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a guy that you could pay 20%, 17 to 20% of your team's overall cap, which is what quarterbacks get paid. Before you say, well, maybe they could sign him to 27, 28, $29 million. It's not happening. Look what Carr got. Look, look what Kyler Murray got. Kyler Murray got $46 million. The guy's never won a playoff game. He's never won a playoff game. He got $46 million. So for Daniel Jones to be the quarterback for the next 10 years, he's got to be a hell of a lot better than Ryan Tannehill. Hell of a lot better than Ryan Tannehill. T-Man, thank you very much, man. I think they'll use games 1 through 8 before the bye as freebies for player evaluation. So which starters get cut in the second half? You're probably right. In terms of evaluating the talent and not making rash decisions, probably I agree with that, over the first eight games. Well, the trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken, comes before the 8-game mark, if I'm not mistaken. I think the trade deadline comes before the 8-game mark. In terms of players that I could see being sold off by the Giants this year, dependent on how they view these players for the future, it's going to be guys that make a lot of money that were with the prior regime. Leonard Williams comes to mind. If he's having a great year and the Giants are like 1-6 and they can get something for him, and they all float his salary, it's possible. You move a guy like that. But it's hard for me to say, man. It's hard for me to say. But I would say Leonard Williams is a potential trade candidate, I suppose, at the trade deadline if we're doing really bad. And he's doing really good. Nelly, what's going on? Tana, hope you had a great time at training camp and saw you in the Giants highlight video. If the Giants didn't already know you, they definitely know you now. Stand up. I got to meet Nelly last year at the Giants-Eagles game. It was awesome. Talking Eco says, start small. I hope the Giants win week 1. The Giants haven't won week 1 since 2016, and it's been frustrating catching up on games late in the year. Dude, I pray they win week 1. I want at least a 1-1 start, and I think that's fair to expect. At least, I'm expecting 1-1 to start because I think we'll beat Carolina. I don't love the Titans matchup to start the year. But if we started 1-0, all of a sudden the Giants fan base will be super excited. You beat a good team. After all, the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year, and you got a winnable game coming up week 2 and a winnable game coming up week 4 against the Bears. So you're potentially looking at a 3-1 start, maybe even a 4-0 start. Who knows? But people start thinking dreaming towards the stars. If we win week 1, it'll change the complete mindset of the New York Giants fan base. It'd be great. I'm not going to expect it though. So we got Rudy says odds Kayvon Thibodeau had a better rookie year than Parsons. I'm going to say no on that. I love Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's going to be a great player for the New York Giants. Hey, hell, maybe even ends up being a better player than Parsons long term. But Parsons last year that's one of the greatest rookie years. I would have to look at it historically, but I would imagine that's one of the greatest rookie years in NFL history for a defensive player. I mean, you're talking about a guy that was, Lawrence, did LT, I think LT, if I'm not mistaken, might have won. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. Did he win Defensive Player of the Year in his rookie year? I'm probably wrong on that. But that was one of the best rookie years in NFL history for a defensive player. So, no, I'm not going to expect that, man. Jake says, what if DJ sucks and the Giants win 11 games? Well, then you're at a crossroads, right? If DJ sucks and you don't think he's the quarterback of the future, you have one of two options if you win 11 games. Because at that point, here's what I'm going to say. Because I've gotten this question a lot, Jake, and I will answer it based off this hypothetical. But ask yourself this. Everybody in the chat, ask yourself this. Because I'm curious to get your opinion. Because maybe you differ from me. Can you see the New York Giants winning 11 games and Daniel Jones sucking? Because I can't. I don't look at this New York Giants football team and say, yeah, if Daniel Jones is trash, the New York Giants could overcome that and they could win 11 games. So for me, it's not even worth answering the question, because for the Giants to win 11 games, I'm not saying he has to play incredible, but he's got to play at least pretty good. So it's like it's kind of like a hypothetical that's really not worth answering. I don't think we're a good enough football team to win 11 games with Daniel Jones playing very bad. I think Daniel Jones needs to play pretty good for the Giants to win 10 football games, probably even 9. So, but in your hypothetical, if the Giants somehow did win 11 games and Daniel Jones did not play well, you have one of two options. You will have some cap space. So you scour the market. You look at guys that are potential free agents that could be stopgap quarterbacks. I don't know who that would be. It's possible the Raiders could cut Carp. He doesn't play well this year and they disappoint. There's nothing in terms of cutting him. Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, you look for a stopgap guy if you don't want to push forward with Jones and give him the extension. If you feel like there's not a quarterback worth drafting where you're going to be picking and you're not going to have the ability to trade up, that's your option. But my answer to you is if the Giants are going to win 11 games, Daniel Jones is going to play pretty good. I'm not telling you he's going to be Joe Burrow, but he's going to play pretty good. Let's see. John Kim says just when the division games can make the wild card. Oh, for sure. I mean, if we go 3-3 in division, we at least give ourselves a chance because we play a really soft schedule. We play, obviously the AFC South is, not that. No, I'm sorry. We play the two weakest divisions of football, I think, outside of potentially of our own. So if we go 3-3 in division, we at least give ourselves an opportunity to play meaningful football. Blue Collar says, who is the last player we let go that you regret? Well, I know the popular answer in the chat is going to be Odell Beckham. I don't really regret that personally. I know he's a fan favorite. He's a great player. When I think of regret, I think of if we would have had this guy, we would have been a great football team. So for me, Odell Beckham would have been fun. He would have helped the offense. I don't think it would have resulted in a whole lot more wins. I really don't. But off the top of my head, he was the first name that popped in because he played well with the Rams last year during the Super Bowl. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head of a player that we lost that I felt like had we kept him, it could have made a huge difference. I slightly regret JPP. But again, I don't think we would have been a great team if JPP was still here. I got to go back further, I think, to really answer that. Jesse Armstead, Tomlinson. Again, I don't think we would have been a great team if we still had Tomlinson, though. Eli Apple's still young. Okay. Again, Eli Apple, I don't think was going to work out here. LT, I thought so. Slink, I thought he was Defensive Player of the Year. I just wasn't 100% sure. I thought he was Defensive Player of the Year. That's a tough one, man. I'm gonna have to think about that and get back to you because I want to give you a good answer on that. That's a tough one. The player I most regret. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. I'm curious to see what you guys are saying. Bradbury, again, I don't think Bradbury was going to make an unbelievable team had we kept him. Shockey's not a bad one. But again, I feel the thing with Shockey, and I love Shockey. Shockey was really fun to watch. I think Eli became a better quarterback after Shockey went down. I really do. And it has nothing to do with Shockey. I think it had to do with Eli. The fact that he didn't feel pressured to have to force the ball. So in a weird way, I kind of feel like Eli almost got better when Shockey went down. I'll say this, but it's not. Here's what I'll say. My biggest regret, but it has nothing to do with a poor decision by the New York Giants. But my biggest regret of a lost player on the New York Giants, it's Plaxico Burress. He shot himself, and we lost him to jail, but we lost him. And we lost the Super Bowl because we didn't have Plaxico Burress on the roster. We lost a chance at winning a Super Bowl that year. So I'll go with Plaxico Burress in 2008. That's what I'll go with. I'll go with Plax. Let's see. Victor Cruz to injury too, man. That hurt so much. Harrison, man, thank you very much, man. Love the content, bud. Keep it up. Are you a New York Rangers fan? Produce content about them too. If not, yeah, okay. So Harrison, I'm a very casual hockey fan. So no, you're not gonna get hockey content from me on this channel. But during the playoffs, I watch the Rangers. I watch the Islanders. I know that's like sacrilegious if you're a fan of either team, but I'm not. I want to get more into hockey though. I will say that I really did enjoy watching the Rangers in the playoffs this year. Growing up as a kid, I loved the Knicks. They were my first love, and it always coincided with hockey. So I always focused the majority of my attention on basketball. But I do want to get more into hockey. I do Knicks content. I do a lot of play-by-plays for the Knicks, and I do Mets. I'm a Met fan. I know that doesn't traditionally go together, but I fell in my head as a kid. I don't know what to tell you. I love the Mets. So I do Mets content. I do Knicks content, and obviously mainly I do Giants content, Harrison. Cruz on, man. What's going on, man? Daniel Jones will be the best quarterback in the NFC. Now that, my friend, is a bold prediction. And I love Cruz on for making it. I'm not going to make it, but I love you for making it, man. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say Dak Prescott's going to be the best quarterback in the NFCs, but I love you for making it, man. Blake says, not having a bona fide franchise quarterback is a nightmare. If the quarterback plays well, but not great, they will get comical paydays. Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, Blake, my mindset this year with Daniel Jones in a nutshell, I think under almost no circumstance am I going to want the Giants to extend him on a multi-year deal. Outside of a deal like Carr got, like I said earlier, Carr got a 3-year extension, but it's really a 1-year extension if you look at the contract. It's only like a $5 million dead cap if they cut him. But I don't want them to commit more than another year to Jones after this year, almost under any circumstance. The only way he would have to do what Joe Burrow did last year, and I don't see that happening with the team that we have. So to me, it's either Daniel Jones' last year or he improves and gets better and he gets another year to improve and get better. And you take it on a year-by-year basis. But I don't think I'd be very surprised if Daniel Jones gets a 4 or 5-year extension at the end of the year. After all, Joe Schoen didn't draft him. Joe Schoen didn't extend him on the 5th year. He's got to prove himself. I think the Giants are going to give him an opportunity to prove himself, but I don't think they're going to give him the entire bag if he has a good year this year. I think they'll franchise tag him, or it'll be a 2 or 3 year deal where they could get out quickly if he does not continue to progress. That's what I think will happen. Let's see. Template says, how long are you going to be on? Listen, I usually just wing it, man. I have fun with you guys. I talk to the chat, and you guys kind of dictate how long the stream goes. I mean, sometimes I say, I'm going to be live for an hour and a half, and it goes for 3 hours. Sometimes I say I'm going to go live for 2 hours. It goes 2.5. I don't know. As long as you guys are popping in the chat, having fun within reason, I'm not going to go live till 2 a.m. I talk to you guys. We talk football, man. I have fun. Kenny says, Landon Collins is, I don't regret. Listen, I like Landon Collins, and I actually think Landon Collins got more hate than he deserves from certain Giant fans at one point when we got rid of him. But I don't regret losing Landon Collins. What did Landon Collins do? He got cut by Washington like 2 or 3 years after they signed him, when they signed him to a record-breaking contract. I think the Giants made the right decision with Landon Collins. They let him walk. They got the 3rd-round comp pick. He just, quite frankly, wasn't worth record-breaking money at the position. He wasn't. I actually think the Giants made the right decision with him. As far as Snacks goes, I love Snacks. One of my favorite players in that 2016 defense. But it made sense to move off of him. I mean, he wasn't going to be a part of the future. He was making a lot of money. You tried to get draft capital. I never hated that move either. But the Landon Collins move, I actually thought was a really good decision, not extending him. Julian says, where do you think David Wilson's career would have been if he didn't get that neck injury? His athleticism was insane. He had to retire. Yeah, man. It's hard to say. You know, it really is, because David Wilson, and he's probably like the biggest what if, right? In terms of like a guy that the New York Giants drafted. I guess Plax is the biggest what if, like what if he never shot himself? But in terms of like a player that the New York Giants drafted, for me, at least in recent history, he's probably the biggest what if, 1st-round running back. He was really good in terms of like his explosiveness. He was a kick returner, punt returner, and you saw the potential, I think, late into his rookie season, if I'm not mistaken. The one thing with David Wilson, though, at least early on in his career before the injury, he had a bad fumbling problem. And we never really got to see him used as like a featured back. And I don't know if he ever would have been, because he was kind of small in stature. He might have been kind of like, a change of pace back, or a Alvin Kamara type back. Who knows? But he certainly could have been really good, especially if the Giants provided him with a good offensive line, which turns out they wouldn't have. But he definitely had a lot of talent, no doubt about it. And that is one of the more unfortunate injuries that the New York Giants have had over the last 20 years. Blue Collar, man, thank you very much, man. Does Tony throw Jones a touchdown this year? I will say no. But it's a good bold prediction. I'm going to give you another bold prediction. Okay? I said it on Twitter earlier a couple months ago. Evan Neal is going to throw a touchdown to Andrew Thomas. That's probably not even legal, but I want to see it happen. So I'm calling for it. Daniel Jones is going to throw a pitch play on the 2-yard line to Andrew Thomas or Evan Neal, one of them. And he's going to have some lead blockers, and he's going to throw it to Andrew Thomas or Evan Neal in the end zone. One tackle is going to throw a touchdown to another tackle. Blake Dwyer says, I'm worried we're going to be picking in the teens, and this year is expected to be a big quarterback draft year. I feel like we always miss out on the big quarterback drafts. Blake, for me, it's something that you can't, it's something that I'm not going to worry about. It's something that you wait until the season plays out and you evaluate as a fan, and obviously you evaluate as a general manager at the end of the year. I'm not going to root for losses. I'm just not. There's no guarantees, right? I mean, look at all these great, supposedly great quarterbacks that have gone first overall that don't work out. I'm not going to go into a year rooting for a loss, hoping for my team to lose so I have a top 5 pick. I understand the mindset. I'm not calling anybody dumb if that's what they're doing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait till the year plays out, see how Jones plays, see how the team is, see what the prospects look like. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's clearly obvious that it's very possible we could be drafting a quarterback next year, but a lot of that's going to depend on where we're picking and how Daniel Jones looks this year. But I am not worried about it. I'm going to enjoy this season, the new look offense, the new look defense, and hope, that we start to build as a football team, specifically on the offensive line, and take it one year at a time. That's my mindset. Can't control it. You can't control it. Ethan says Saquon Barkley will be top 3 next year and won't be 3 or 2. Let's see. And won't be 3 or 2. Danny Dimes will lead us to the playoffs and prove he's good with the regime. And Tony will be a wide receiver 1 and have a breakout year. Plus Galladay. Ethan, from your lips to God's ears, man. I pray you're right, man. I want you to be right, man. I'm dying for you to be right. Irish River says, Chris, looked like you had a great time this morning. Enjoyed watching. Have you had problems with your membership milestones? I went for 9 months to 1 month. Irish, to be honest with you, I haven't looked at that. It's a good question. I have not looked at that, but I will look into it. Yeah, you're the first person that asked me about that. I have not looked into that. Ordinary Pete, stand up. And yeah, I had a lot of fun at training camp today, man. I'm looking forward to going back on Tuesday. Cody says, what's something you feel your least favorite head coach of all time did really well? And what's something you feel your favorite? Wow, that's a good question. My least favorite coach. Okay. So the first coach I remember, but I wasn't enough into football to really like have an informed opinion about him. But the first head coach I remember since I've been watching the Giants is probably Dan Reeves. Then it was Jim Fossil, who I liked. I liked Jim Fossil. Then obviously Coughlin, who I loved. Then you had McAdoo. We'll get to him in a minute. Then you had Shermer, and then you had Judge. So my least favorite, I just maybe it was because of the personality. And it's probably not fair, but McAdoo. I hated McAdoo. I could not stand McAdoo. So I will say he was my least favorite. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not even saying he was the worst. I understand he went to the playoffs. Granted, he was given a lot of talent. They signed probably the 3 best defensive free agents in football that year, but never liked McAdoo. In terms of what he did really well, I think he definitely improved Eli Manning. No doubt about it. As an offensive play caller, that was more so before he became the head coach. But when he got here, Eli Manning was second in the league in touchdowns. I think his first or second year under Ben McAdoo was the offensive play caller. And his offensive philosophy was get the ball out quick. It was a 2-second offense. And you saw Eli Manning late into his career become a much more efficient quarterback. It kind of took away a bit from the deep ball, but obviously Odell Beckham kind of hid that because he took a lot of slants to the house. So I will say that. I think he definitely helped Eli Manning, the new scheme that came about, no doubt about it. In terms of your favorite head coach, my favorite head coach has got to be Tom Coughlin. And what I'll say about Tom Coughlin, and he's my favorite. I love him. I think he's the best head coach since I've been watching the New York Giants football team. But what did he do poorly? I think in the end, towards the end of his career, Tom Coughlin got a little too soft. And what's funny is when he first took the job, he was too hard. He kind of had to meet the players in the middle. But I think by the end of his tenure, he got a little too soft. Let me ask you, Coded. Tom Coughlin I didn't get to see Parcells. Not with the Giants anyway. So that's why I say Coughlin. Let me ask you, Coded. Tom Coughlin in 2008. Do you think he lets Odell Beckham finish that game against the Carolina Panthers? Or do you think he yanks him off the field? I think he yanks him off the field. And that's just one instance. But I think towards the end of his tenure, he got a little too soft. That's what I'll say about Tom Coughlin. But I love him to death. And I was super upset when he was fired. I love him to death. One of my favorite New York Giants of all time, Tom Coughlin. Cruz on, man. Thank you very much, man. I have a feeling that Ingram will be a beast with the Jaguars this season. Rooting for him. It just didn't work out for the Giants. I'm not rooting against him, Cruz on. He always seemed like a really good guy, a guy that worked hard. I think a lot of his problems had to do with mental. I really do. Playing in New York, I think he pressured himself. Something did come out today, though, that he did have a drop that resulted in an interception in practice for the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, I'll be rooting for him. I got nothing against Evan Ingram. I know a lot of Giants fans hate him. It was time to move on here. It wasn't working out. Best of luck in Jacksonville. McAdoo believed he was the smartest man in the league and acted like, yeah, it was, to me, Blake, it was his attitude. For me, that 2018. Yeah. Oh, well, no, that wasn't in 2008. I was just saying the 2008 version of Coughlin. That was like 2014 or 15 or whatever it was. That was later in his career. Hey, Chris, can we cut Golladay after this year? What's the cap hit? Yeah, let me go over Golladay real quick. We can. I don't think we save a ton, though. But I'll go over the cap real quick. Golladay next year, if we were to cut him, we save... yeah, it's not much. We would he's going to either cost $21.4 million, which is a ton, but the market's only going to go up, right, for receivers next year, or 14.7 to cut him. So if you cut him, you're only saving $6.3 million. Looking at his contract, and maybe he turns into a great wide receiver with the Giants this year, but if he doesn't, I think the earliest he's going to be cut is 2024. And he probably will be if he does not dramatically improve over these next couple of years with the Giants. In 2024, if they were to cut him, you would save almost $15 million. But next year, when you only save like $6 million, and it's going to cost you almost $15 million just to cut him, I think he's probably going to be back with the team. I think he'll be here for another year. Lee's favorite coach would be Ray Hanley. Parcello's let me down because he should have retired right after the Super Bowl. He deprived us of Coughlin or the New England Patriots head coach. But Do you see Saquon Barkley being a Giant after the word, man? It comes down to health and it comes down to his production this year. Ask me that question at the end of the year. That's what it comes down to. And what I will say is, I think it's more likely. Like, let's play the hypothetical game that Barkley has a great year. I think it's more likely Barkley comes back if Daniel Jones doesn't. If Daniel Jones comes back, I don't think I could see them keeping Saquon Barkley because of what it's going to cost to keep Daniel Jones. I can't see them also paying Saquon Barkley. If you lose Jones and Barkley is great this year, I could see the Giants saying to themselves, okay, we could give this guy a 3-year contract and he could help in the growth of the new quarterback that we're going to be drafting. He could be a big weapon in our offense. But of course, it's all dependent on Saquon Barkley having a big year. But if Jones stays and they extend Jones, I don't really see it in the cards for Saquon being extended either, along with him. Bing bong, what's going on, James Mones, man? And Duncan, he says, worried about taking a quarterback next draft while not picking high enough to secure a top tier. Screw the good quarterback class take. So was 2018. I don't want to end up with Rose and Darnold Mayfield. You know what's so funny about that quarterback class, Duncan? I was actually thinking about this the other day because somebody made a tweet about the class. I don't remember exactly what it was. They said the class was a bust. That's what they said. Kind of what you just said. The 2018 quarterback class was a bust. The funny thing is about that quarterback class, the quarterback class was not a bust. The quarterback class was really good. The problem is the 3 guys that they were raving about were the busts. But Josh Allen is one of the top, 2 or 3 most talented quarterbacks in the league right now. And Lamar Jackson is the former MVP. So the quarterback class was good. The teams were just looking for the wrong quarterbacks. But yeah, there's no guarantees, especially at the quarterback position. The quarterback position is so unpredictable. It really is. It's so unpredictable. And it's so dependent on so many other things on a roster, whether it be the scheme and the players around him, the coaching staff. So, yeah, I'm not going to go into a year being like, oh, we got to get a top 3 or 4 pick. No. Let's see how the season plays out, and let's analyze in the offseason. We made a trade. Check Twitter. All right, let me see. I'm assuming you mean the Giants when you say that. Somebody zoomed in. I got to show you guys this. This guy just added me. Tyler Andrew just added me. I got to share my screen. Okay, so, the Mets made a trade. What did we do? Let me share my screen real quick. So a lot of you guys have been saying that all right, I'm going to check out the Mets trade in a second. A lot of you guys have been saying that Chris, you were on TV today, right? Let me see if I can find it real quick. During the Giants practice. So this guy, hold on, let me find it real quick. Hold on, which one is it? Let me just see. Man, I'm already. Oh, that's. Hold on. I'm trying to share the screen for you guys. I'm gonna get it in 1 second. That's just the wrong share. Hold on. Share screen. I have so many open tabs. That's the problem. Maybe it's this one. No. I'm so bad with a computer. You guys are going to laugh, though, when I can pull it up. I'm going to find the Mets trade in a second, though. Here it is. Okay. So you guys were all talking about the picture that you guys were all talking about the picture that the Giants put out, right? About me at training camp today. So Tyler Andrew just added me. He says, that moment when you see the size of Evan Neal. That made me laugh. But I'm gonna go check out this Mets trade real quick. Hold on. Sources confirmed. Mets acquiring outfielder. All right, so we needed a left-handed pitcher. Philip Deal from the Reds. Let me take a quick look here at how they're doing this year. I don't know what we gave up. We definitely needed a lefty, and hopefully we're not done. I think we still need another arm in the pen, but let me see how Philip Deal is doing this year. What the hell? That can't be the same. He sucks. Is that the same Philip Deal we just traded for? That can't be the guy. Well, they definitely got to add another bullpen arm if that's the case. The guy's got an 11 ERA. All right, and let me look at the hitter we acquired. How he's doing this year. He's all right. It's not a big trade. It's definitely not a high impact trade at all. I am not very excited about that trade. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I am not very excited about that trade at all, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. The Mets better not be done. That better be a minor move. I don't think either one of those players are a huge impact. Let's see what we got here. Yanks got Bennett. Let's see. DJ was not looking good at training camp. It's early. I'm not going crazy, good or bad. If he looked great, I wouldn't be raving about it either. But I thought he looked decent. I thought he looked pretty good. He had a couple of throws into traffic that he shouldn't have made, but I thought he looked okay. Sports influencer. Hold on. Let me see. I don't have the YouTube chat in front of me. Now I got it. I got you, buddy. Remember milestone reset? No, it says 24 months, man. At least from what I see. I know we say during every regime, but it truly feels like something different. Keep doing you, Chris, man. I appreciate it, sports influencer, man. Thank you for being here, buddy. Let's see. Have you checked out? No, I haven't, Kush. I didn't even know they were doing a podcast together. I haven't been on YouTube. I haven't been on YouTube a ton. AJ, I don't know a ton about him. I know that he's the edge rusher, the undrafted free agent. I think he's an edge rusher that we brought in who he had pretty good numbers, but I don't know a ton about him. I just know he was undrafted, and a lot of people were surprised that he went undrafted. Probably won't make the team, but maybe he catches on with the practice squad if nobody else picks him up. I'd be surprised if he makes the team. But I know his sack totals were pretty high at college. I remember that. Sup, Chris? It's been a while. I'm glad you're back. What's going on there, Jared Mercado? Man, thanks for popping in. Yes, I think we are. I am doing an NFC roundtable soon on the Philly guys channel. What's up, AJ Wellington? Man, thanks for popping in. Oh, that's your homie. Hey, maybe he'll make the team, man. I think he stands a definitely a very good chance if another team doesn't claim him to probably catch on with the practice squad for sure. What do you think about Roche getting third team reps? I'm not too surprised by that. I mean, at the end of the day, Roche was essentially an undrafted free agent next year. I know the Steelers drafted him, but it was very late and they cut him. You still got a lot to prove. I like Roche, and I think he'll make the team, but I'm not shocked he's getting 13 reps. Yo, what's going on, Emmanuel? Quickly, man. Thanks for popping in, buddy. I got Kadarius Toney and Wendell Robinson in Fantasy Football League. Do you think they will be good? I think Toney will be. And I think Robinson will be. I don't know how good he'll be in fantasy. I don't know how big of his role, I don't know if he's going to have a big enough role on this team to really be a high impact fantasy player. But yeah, I think both of them will be good this year. Let's see. Tyrod Taylor getting playing time? What do you mean? At camp today? Yeah, he was out there. He was with the second team. He didn't get playing time with the first team. He's the backup. In terms of getting, and if your question is he going to get playing time this year? Well, there's one of two ways he's going to get playing time. One, Daniel Jones is going to get hurt. Two, the season's going to be over. That's it. Because they're not pulling Daniel Jones after 4 weeks. They're not. In a new scheme, they're not doing it. Tyrod Taylor does not offer really any upside in terms of future. He's 32 years old. He's a journeyman quarterback. He's not going to be a guy you win a Super Bowl with. The only way Tyrod Taylor is seeing the field is Daniel Jones is going to play really bad for 8 to 10 games, or Daniel Jones is going to get hurt. So in either circumstance, we're in bad shape. That's the way I look at it. But today, yeah, he did get reps. He played with the second team, and I actually thought he played pretty well. But again, against the second team defense as well. What's up there, Game Man? Thanks for popping in. Which position group are you most confident in? That's a good question. Let's ask the chat that. I'm gonna say I want to say tackle, but Neal's still a rookie. I think it's either edge or tackle. Aziz and Kayvon, or Neal and Thomas. And I think I'm leaning Neal and Thomas, even though Neal's a rookie. Not the offensive line as a whole, because I still have a lot of questions on the interior. But I think I'm most confident in the tackle group on this team, which makes me happy. But it could certainly be the edge as well. It could be either one. It could certainly be the edge as well. Least confident linebackers? I would say cornerbacks, and linebackers are close, but I'd say cornerbacks. I don't think he does. I've seen people say that. I'm almost positive, and somebody correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I don't think Tyrod Taylor's time with the Buffalo Bills coincided with Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll was, I believe, at Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Tyrod Taylor was with the Bills. So I don't think he's ever played with Brian Daboll. I'm almost positive on that. So I don't think there's any familiarity there, at a prior destination. Let's see. Who's more important, Leonard Williams or Kayvon? I mean, Kayvon. Long-term, certainly Kayvon. To this year, I guess you could argue Leonard Williams, but Kayvon. Long-term for sure. Leonard Williams might not be here after this year. You're hoping Kayvon's here for the next 15. I think that's why he was hired. Daboll was hired to mentor Josh Allen. Tana, are you going to wear the blue sweater week 1? You mean the red? You mean the red hoodie? I might have to, man. It's the good luck hoodie, man. Brandon says 2023 had a good quarterback class with CJ Stroud. So far, it looks like a good quarterback class. We'll see. Gyros was there for. But yeah, I don't think there's familiarity there. No, I did not. They signed the USFL offensive lineman. Again, don't expect them to make the team. Hey, appreciate you for noticing, Shay, man. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I'm down 32 pounds. And my goal is another 47. So I set out a very, very big time goal, and almost halfway there. Quarterback class is 83. Oh, you're a pattern guy? Was that 83 or 84? Maybe it was the 83 class in the 84 rookie season. Obviously, I know you're talking about Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, and John Elway. Was that 83 or 84? 2003, you're obviously talking about Eli. Appreciate that, Will, man. Thanks for popping in, man. What's going on? Jesus Christ, Chris, we're good for you, man. I appreciate that, man. My prediction, if we start 5-3, and we really could, it was 83. Yeah, those are the two greatest quarterback classes of all time. Elway, Marino, and Jim Kelly. And then obviously you got the Eli class with Ben and Rivers. After every win, you run a 5K. I'm tired of drafting. What's up, Sam, man? I'm tired of talking about drafting a quarterback. We don't know how they'll do. We thought this year was a good class. Last year with Rattler and Howell, how did that work out? Yeah, you don't know. You got to let the college season play out, and you got to let our season play out. I don't like the Mets trade at all. Milk the cow. At all. I'll look more into it after the stream, but my initial impression is that better not be it. There better be more to who we bring in this offseason. The stretch where we face Jacksonville, Houston, Detroit, Seattle is so important. That's our season, Jay, in terms of, having any relevancy over this, once we get to the divisional games, the second half of the season, we got to win 3 of those 4 games, at least. We got to go 3-1 over that 4-game stretch. That's our season. That's where we could take advantage of our schedule. No, I'm going to check it out after though, Shimmy. I know a lot of people, said that, that there's a lot of comments in there. I have seen the picture, but I didn't see the video. What's going on, Strong, the Prosper Fitness man? Thanks for popping in, man. Hey, bro, what do the Knicks need to do to be relevant and good again? We got to pray a lot. We got to go to church every Sunday. No, all kidding aside, I think the Knicks are on the right path. I don't know what your definition of good is. If your definition of just having a good competitive basketball team, I think we'll have one next year if we get Donovan Mitchell. I mean, you got Jalen Brunson, you got RJ Barrett, Mitch Robinson. So, I think we'll be good next year. Will we be a title contender? No. But Donovan Mitchell will go a long way, right? You add him, and then you hope in a year or two you're able to find another piece, whether it be a free agent or whether it be somebody in the draft. But I'm hoping we get Donovan Mitchell, man. I think the Jalen Brunson signing was a really good one. He's still young, and I think he's going to only get better with the Knicks when he gets a more expanded role. Luka was kind of the ball-dominant player there with the Mavericks, so I like the Brunson signing. I think he's going to improve RJ Barrett as well. So if we get Mitchell, I think we'll be a good team. Let's see. I saw the cameraman at the fence shooting for you for that clip on your stream. Yeah, I'm Mike. After the fact, I didn't realize it was a cameraman at the time because I was focused on doing. Oh yeah, you saw it on my stream. Yeah, I just thought it was a guy taking pictures. I didn't realize it was a cameraman. I don't know what this means, by the way. I had a guy from SNY reach out to me today, and I don't know if I'm gonna read. Who knows? But he's a producer for SNY, and he actually messaged me on like 6 days ago and asked me if he could interview me at Giants training camp. It didn't work out today, but I think he messaged me today, offered me some kind of gig with SNY. I don't think I'm going to be like in the studio, but something like video content for SNY. So that'll be cool. So be on the lookout for that potentially. Nets wanted Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Marcus Smart, and a pick for Durant. Sean Marks is high. Let's see. I wanted Julius Randle on the Kings. I have no issues with Keegan Murray, but he'd be great coming off the bench his rookie year with Randle. I like Randle, but I don't think he fits the Knicks anymore, to be honest with you. Hey, Tana, what do you think about the Cowboys playing 2 tough teams right before they play us both times this season? Let me look at the Cowboys schedule. I don't know it off the top of my head. I know when we play the Cowboys, we're playing 3 straight home games, and it's the one mixed in the middle. So they open up against the Bucks. What do I think? You want my honest opinion? Gravity? You want my honest opinion? I don't like it. Because if the Cowboys start 0-2, like that is a must-win game for them. Like they're gonna play that game like a playoff game. You can't start 0-3. So I don't like that. I don't like the fact that they're getting tested against Tampa and Cincinnati to start the year. I would have rather them actually not played great teams before they played us. That's my opinion on that. I don't like that. Fabian, man, thank you very much, man. Yeah, boy, Tana go. Well, I don't know about that. We'll see, but it was cool. The guy reached out to me. We'll see. It was cool. It was cool. Let's see. You appear twice. I'm gonna have to check it out after the fact. Cowgirls gonna take. Yeah, I don't like that they're playing two of the top 10 teams in football before they play us. Yeah, Giants Dallas on that to me is probably the highlight game of the year. Flip. Giants Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That's the game that most Giant fans are gonna be most looking forward to. Best trade Seth Lugo and 2 minor leaguers. All right, Christian Cologne. Hey, Chris, whose jersey is that? Kayvon Thibodeau. Can't wait, man. What's up, Braves fan, man? Thanks for popping in, buddy. We're going to kick your ass, man. We play you in a 5-game series coming up, man. But thank you for popping in the stream. Hey, man, Mike, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. I don't know. I hope I'm knowledgeable enough to be able to. I mean, listen, I'm a diehard sports fan. I never pretend to be something I'm not. I don't come on here and tell you that I break down film, and I'm not doing that. But yeah, I think I know the history of my teams pretty well. Can't wait for the Thanksgiving game. Yeah, man. What's going on there, Money Man? Thanks for popping in. Do you think Kayvon will win Defensive Rookie of the Year? I think he stands as good of a chance as anyone for multiple reasons. One, I think he plays in a defense where he's going to get a lot of opportunities because they're going to be aggressive. They're going to blitz a lot. And yeah, and he's obviously a very talented player. But two, I think we're going up against a lot of weak offenses. So I think there's going to be opportunities throughout the year for Kayvon to accrue a lot of sacks. So if I had to pick one right now, I'd probably say he's the favorite. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to win it. But yeah, I think he stands a pretty good chance at winning it. Stand up. What's going on, Olsen man? Thanks for popping in. I bought it online, Pete. I bought it online, the jersey. Holy crap, the jackpot's over $1 billion today. What's going on, Zany? Are they pulling the ticket tonight? I'm going to have to buy a ticket. If all right, I'm going to buy a ticket. Well, if they pull tonight, I won't be able to buy a ticket. But if that does not hit tonight, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. And if I win, I'm going to buy the team from John Mara. And the first thing I'm going to do is give every fan a large Pepsi. Gary says, if Daniel Jones turns out to be the man this season, could you see them trading for DK Metcalf? That's random. No, I don't think we'd have the cap space because you'd have to pay Daniel Jones. Oh, it's Friday? All right, I'm going to buy one. I'm going to buy a ticket, and if I win, I'm going to buy the Giants. Monkey Man, he says, hey, Chris, weren't you going to do a stream with Bobby and Justin? Yeah, they ended up being really busy, so we weren't able to do it today. We're going to do it on Tuesday instead when I go. Bobby had to interview Art Stapleton, and then he had another interview, I think, with another platform. I don't remember where, but he wasn't able to do it today, so we're going to do it on Tuesday instead. You dingbat. I'm gonna give all you guys a large Pepsi, man. Everybody, every Giants fan in the whole world. Chris says, is it just me or the Giants always the team that the other teams right their wrongs? Well, yeah, because we've been horrible the last, 7-8 years or whatever it's been. 7-10. That's my record prediction before the year starts. Between 6 and 8 wins. I'm leaning towards 7. Just wait till you play in Yankee Stadium. Now we got Benny. Hey, listen, man. I ain't even going to hate on you guys. That was a great pickup. I thought it was the exact type of player the New York Yankees needed to add. Andrew Benintendi's a really good pickup for you guys. Let's see. Tana, I'll build you an addition studio on your house. Sounds good, Fabian. What's going on, Chase, man? Thanks for popping in. Keep the Pepsi. Get us a franchise quarterback. All right, that's what I'm going to do then. That's going to be my first mission, getting you guys a franchise quarterback after I buy the team from John Mara. Missed you too, man. Thanks for popping in. Do you think drafting Do you think drafting Wandell lit a fire for Kadarius? Maybe. No, I don't. Probably not. Probably not. I mean, I'm not. He should have a fire no matter what. I mean, last year he had 400 yards. He got half those yards in one game, and most of it had to do with injuries. And obviously the offense was stagnant last year under Jason Garrett. I'm not trying to knock Kadarius Toney. I think he could be a really good football player, but he's got a lot to prove. I mean, he should have the fire before we got Wan'Dale Robinson, right? So, no, I'm going to say probably no. It's not. I don't think he's going to take away much in terms of target share from Kadarius Toney. I think they're going to find a way to get both of them heavily involved in the offense. He speaks for himself. Give me the large. You got it, man. Draft a franchise quarterback instead of presenting a jersey. Give him a large Pepsi with the name. There you go, Will. Well, I don't remember what time I went live. I started at 8:40. So we'll go for another 20 minutes, and then we'll close it out. I just wanted to go live again after training camp. We'll go live again on Tuesday when I go, and then the following Tuesday. And just want to start getting more Giants content up on the channel. And we're just really excited for the season to start, man. Yeah, Wandell was Toney light or Toney next. Yeah, I don't think it's really a threat to Toney. I think they're both gonna be really involved. Side Guy says, I think Joe and Dave's hiring has light the fire. Yeah, exactly. That more so than anything else. No attachments to anybody. Daniel Jones, every player on this team outside of the players they just drafted should have a fire lit under their ass. Pepsi not okay. Make it a large Coke. I'm more of a Coke guy myself. Coca-Cola, not Coke. That Wandell guy might look small, but he's ripped. Yeah, well, he is small. He doesn't look small. He is small, but yeah, he's certainly in shape. You saw some of his workout videos after we drafted him. He's in insane shape for his size. When you buy the team, make sure you buy the team and rehire Joe Judge and put him in a clown. Oh man, going to the camp on Tuesday. Oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing you, man. I'll tell you right now, Flip, where I'm going to be. I think I'm going to be in the same spot we were today. That's where Bobby and Justin said the best spot to be. When you go in, there's one entrance, I think. I think there's one main entrance. When you go in, you're going to see 4 stands to your left. Don't go there. If you keep going straight, there's going to be a row of 2 or 3 bleachers that's to the right when you first go in. And I'm going to be in the first set of those. So if you want to swing by and say hello, that's where I'll be. And then I think for the Fan Fest, we're going to be doing a tailgate in parking lot G. License plate guy, Bobby, Justin, and myself. And obviously there's going to be a lot of other content creators there. But like last year, we're going to be doing a show. It should be a lot of fun. I think Authentic's going to be there. If he's in the chat, he was there last year. A lot of content creators will be there. So, yeah, definitely swing by Lot G, man. Free food. You going to say no to that? You just got to bring your own beer. What dates am I going? I'm going the next 2 Tuesdays. I'm going and Fan Fest. I don't know what day of the week that is, but I'm going the next 2 Tuesdays. Chris, I'm going to come out from the UK next year. Dude, definitely, man. I don't know, Fabian. I got to talk to Patricia Traina. I'll probably message her tomorrow. She messaged me 4 or 5 days ago, and she told me she wasn't going to be able to give me the VIP pass today because it was early in camp, and she's almost positive she's going to be able to give it to me the last 2 days that I'm going. The following 2 Tuesdays, I'm just guessing, but I would assume it means that I get on-field access with her, which if that's the case, that's friggin' awesome. I don't necessarily think I'm going to get to talk to the players, but that would be awesome, especially for you guys. If I'm able to get, I'll have a much better access in terms of getting clips, and filming the practice. So hopefully that'll be the case. And I know, and just as a fan, it'll be an incredible experience to be that close to the players. Are you kidding me? Daniel Jones. If I get on the field access at training camp, Daniel Jones is going to look at me like this. He's going to remember. He's like, you're the guy. You're the guy. You're the guy that flipped out on draft night. He's going to have me arrested and taken out on the field, taken off the field in handcuffs. But no, it'll be a really cool experience if I get an opportunity. Did you see Andrew Thomas's? Yeah, it's ridiculous. Tom Gotcha, it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't play Madden, but the fact that he's ranked that low is ridiculous. Appreciate you, Tana, but the Mets suck. No, the Mets don't suck. But I appreciate you too, but the Mets don't suck. Glad to see you in the video. Even my son noticed you. That's awesome, man. I'm gonna have to check it out after, man. I'm gonna. People told me everybody was dropping comments. I'm gonna swing by after the live stream. That's really funny, man. Tenny, you should try to sneak your way into the autographs for under 12. I don't know how I got in. Russ, one of my subscribers was getting autographs today. He showed me pictures. It was really cool. Nick. Russ says, Tana, I know it's not good to throw picks in training camp, but how much of a concern is it to see DJ throw picks? I'm not gonna be too concerned. It's training camp. I'm honestly not even a little concerned. That's not to say I think Daniel Jones is gonna be great this year. Did he throw a pick today? I know he threw a lot of balls in traffic. Off the top of my head, I don't remember an interception. Maybe there was one, but there was a lot of batted balls. There was probably like 3, but I don't remember an interception. But maybe there was one. There might have been one. But I don't read much into it. It's practice. It's practice without pads. Now if he does that in a preseason game, maybe a little. Obviously you're a little bit more concerned for sure. And obviously in a regular season game. But I had very little concern in practice. You're trying new things, man. One guy who's been underrated his whole career, Richie James is gonna be our kick returner. Do you think Joe Judge uses Charmin's or Scott's for his referring to Bad Dog's toilet paper? Tana, I saw you have Slayton making the team, but I think it'll be somewhat of a surprise cut. I see Robert Forster. Ooh. We'll see. We'll see. I still think Slayton will make the team. Forster, I think he's the guy that came over from Buffalo, right? The wide receiver that came over from Buffalo. I suppose he's got a shot. I'll say it again, man. The guy that impressed me the most in terms of the guys, that's on the outside looking in, at least going into camp, I think at the wide receiver position, was Colin Johnson today. I thought he looked good. But I still think Slayton's going to make the team. I do. I think he's going to make the team. I think it's on the Giants site, the training camp video. Supposedly I was featured twice. Not featured, but they go to me twice. Hey, what's up, Sports Live in the ATL, man? Good to see you, man. Look at his Yeah, well, that's the other thing, T. That's the other thing that's so hard. Yeah, I saw the trade, Joshua. It's not a trade that's going to excite me. But I hope we're not done. We still got a lot of time before the trade deadline. I hope we're not done. We need to add more. No, Gary, not to say hello. I was reading the comment below you. Not to start the year. I don't think Darian Beavers will be starting. It's so hard to keep track of every player and see, where they were getting their reps today. I want to say he was with the third team. I don't see Darian Beavers starting, at least to start the year. That may change throughout the season, but to start the year, no. Put the pads on. Let's go. Yeah, I think Monday. I could be wrong. I think Monday they put the pads on for the first time. Thibodeau's first step is ridiculous. When you watch his highlights, and I said it, during the draft process, he reminds you of Osi Umenyiora in terms of his first step. His first step that was the one thing that always stood out to me with Osi throughout his entire career with the New York Giants. His first step off the line of scrimmage, he was nearly as quick as anyone I've ever seen. And Kayvon's got that. He's got that burst off the line of scrimmage for sure. He's really impressive. Monday, yeah. So Monday's the first day with the pads. That'll be fun. Then the second one I'm going to is going to be with the pads. That'll be more fun. And I was Tana, I'm going the first day August. I better see you suited up against Evan Neal. No way, man. You trying to get me killed, man? Yeah, I can't wait for football season, man. Do you think Saquon 100%? And who do you have at tight end 1? I think Bellinger is going to be tight end 1. It could be somebody else, but I'm going to pencil Bellinger right now to be the favorite to be tight end 1. And yes, I think Saquon's 100%, both mentally and physically. Last year, I think the first glimpse that we got to see of Saquon Barkley where he was approaching 100%, at least for me, was the New Orleans Saints game. And then, because he looked, he had the nice catch down the sideline. He looked somewhat explosive off the line of scrimmage. And you were like, all right, now we're starting to get that back. And then the next game, he had the fluke injury against the Cowboys. And then he never really got back to himself until towards the end of the season But this year, yeah, man, I think he's going in 100%. 2 years removed now from that horrible, gruesome injury. So I think he's gonna just feel a lot more comfortable this year, trusting his body. I was blessed to see Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas close up. My brother had a Jets jersey on. Evan Neal flamed him. Awesome. That's awesome, man. You know I'm not gonna be there tomorrow. The next 2 Tuesdays I'm gonna be there, and on FanFest. I may go another day. I only have tickets, so maybe if somebody reaches out to me and is like, I have another ticket, maybe I'll go a different day. I don't know, but as of now, I'm going the following 2 Tuesdays, and I think there's only like 1 day left after the last practice I'm going to. What's up there, Shockey Production? Gary Lawrence says, Tana, if he doesn't get hurt, can you see Dell? Yeah, I think he's going to start. I think he's the favorite to start right now at the tight end. And that's awesome, man. Enjoy the game. Joey Lutz says, stand up. One of my OGs, man. Glad to see you in here, man. Hope you're enjoying your summer. I can't go tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd say yes. If you have tickets for, we'll talk. I mean, I don't know if you're on Twitter, but yeah, if you reach out to me on Twitter, but tomorrow I can't go. I can't go tomorrow. Otherwise, I would go for sure. You might have said this before, but yes, we're doing the preseason games, and we'll do what we always do. We'll alternate channels. I'm not sure, the order or whatever, but yeah, we'll alternate channels, and we're gonna do all 3 preseason games, unless I have a scheduling conflict, like if I have plans, but I don't, because they're not always on the weekends, but I don't know yet for sure. But as long as I'm free, which I should be, yeah, I'm gonna do all the preseason games. Yeah, you showed me the Giants hype video. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out after this, man. Thoughts on taking Barkley if he has a great season? It's possible. But let's see. Darn, I met you today for a minute, but I'd love to chill with you at another Giants training camp and talk Giants with you. Great to talk to you today, though. Oh, yeah, man. I met a bunch of people, so I'm not sure which one you were, but that was awesome, man. So many people coming up and asking to take a picture, man. Blew me away, man. Getting to talk to everybody, and yeah, man, definitely, man. Jesse, if you're going to FanFest, hopefully you are. It's free. I'm gonna be there. Get there early, man. Lot G. So, yeah, man, come by, man. Hopefully we do it big this year. But yeah, it was a pleasure getting to talk to everybody. Tane, if Daniel Jones puts up 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but we missed the playoffs, that's a tricky situation, isn't it? Depends what our record is. Depends on where we're picking in the draft, and it depends on how we feel about the quarterback prospects we could select. There's a lot of variables. Riley says, how do you feel about the London game versus the Packers? Listen, Riley, I think any game's winnable. But do I think we're going to win? No. I mean, the Packers are still really good. They lost Adams, but they still got a guy named Aaron Rodgers. But it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, outside of the fact that I got to get up at like 7 a.m. on a Sunday, but I usually get up relatively early anyway. But it's just weird calling a game at 9 a.m. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But no, I don't think we'll win that game. And I actually have even less confidence the week after. The Ravens on short rest traveling back from London. I hate that matchup. Season tickets come tailgate at D2, my man. Listen, man, next time I'm there, which I'm definitely going to be there for the Bears game. And like I said, FanFest. But when I go there for the Bears game, man, I'll try to get there early and try to meet, all you guys. Yeah, Jesse, Lot G. I mean, just look for Bobby Skinner. He's huge. I'll be with him. Just curious, when are you in bed, dog? Oh, well, I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, we're fine, Big Moo. We're fine. Jacob says, I have a feeling Kafka might be calling he is. That came out today, Jacob. It came out today that Kafka is officially calling the plays, which I thought was going to be all along, but that's I guess Brian Dable kind of left it up for potential to change, but the way he made it sound like is Kafka's going to be the guy this year calling the plays, which it should be. Sir Kanye Pepperman, what's going on, buddy? Tana, could you see Seattle paying salary for trading Metcalf if multiple 3 first-rounders are involved for him, assuming the G-men go on a run this season? I don't think we're trading for Metcalf. I guess I'll never rule anything out, right? I mean, the Bill, even though Joe Shane wasn't the general manager, the Bills did trade for Stephon Diggs. But I don't know. I feel like we kind of I'm not saying we couldn't use more help at that position, but I feel like we need help at other positions before we get more help there. I feel like we have a pretty decent receiving core when we're healthy. I'm not saying we don't need another one, but if they're going to make trades, I would rather them try to shore up a cornerback, for example. I think we need a lot of help at the cornerback spot long term for sure. Linebacker, interior offensive line. I think there's other needs before I would attack wide receiver again. Because I hope to see you at the training. Yeah, man, for sure, man. Toba. Best way to approach you guys at FanFest. Don't want to come off creepy. No, man. Just come up and say hi. Just come up and say hi, man. I'm just a fan like you guys. Just come up and say hi. Yeah, just come up and say hi. And it's just gonna be a tailgate. It's gonna be a huge tailgate with tons of Giants fans. So we're all gonna be just talking with one another. Yeah, just come up and say hi, man. Last year, Bradbury gave me his gloves at FanFest. What should I do with the gloves now that he is on Philly and he has some stuff that we betrayed him? Should I sell them? That's up to you, man. I don't have any ill will towards James Bradbury. I knew he was going to maybe stick it to the Giants. Do I think him signing with the Eagles had something to do with the way he felt he was treated by the Giants? Sure. But I don't blame Joe Schoen for doing what he did with James Bradbury. He tried to get something for him. He held out as long as he could. He tried to get something for him. I would have done the same thing as a general manager. So how could I be critical of it? It's unfortunate. It was a tough situation for Bradbury because he's a good player. We just had such a bad cap situation, and Bradbury's 30 years old. He's not going to be a part of the future of the team. So Shane let it drag out as long as he could. And when he realized he wasn't going to be able to get anything, he dropped him. But I have no ill will towards Bradbury. He got what he could. Tane, I saw some film today, and every time I saw an inaccurate pass, I thought it was DJ, but no, it was Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm is so bad, man. Sup, Tane? Hopes your newfound. No, not at all, Ray. But I do have to check out the video after. I'm gonna look at all the comments and I'm gonna laugh. It's funny, man. I saw the picture. I posted it on Twitter. Do you think Saquon and DJ will be on the team next year if they perform well but not great? Probably not. Probably not. If 8 wins, maybe. But I doubt both of them are back. You might get one. I don't think you'll get both. Yeah, he came back in though quickly though, Flip. He wasn't out for long. Yeah. What time do you think the tailgate will be? I will let you guys know the details if you follow me on Twitter. I don't know if you do. But if you follow me on Twitter, I'll definitely let you know the details when Bobby lets me know all the details. If not, you'll see me on here before. I'll let you guys know on the live streams, the time. I don't remember what time the gates open. I want to say like 6. If it's 6, we'll probably be there at like 3. Yeah, I mean, Ray, it was tough for me from where I was sitting. I don't know if it was more a pass breakup or Golladay dropped it. Some people seem to think it was more Julian Love created the drop. It was tough from where I was sitting. But regardless, it kind of looked like a play, even if Julian Love broke it up. It looked like a play that Golladay probably still should have secured. He probably should have brought it to his body quick. But, I guess maybe he's trying to make a run after the catch. But, again, I was in a tough spot, where the play went down. Yeah, I'm going to look at it after the fact. I saw the picture. Matter of fact, Eric, actually, I don't have it anymore. But there was a funny meme that somebody posted on Twitter about it. But yeah, I saw the picture. I haven't seen the video yet, but I'm going to check it out after. Everybody's been telling me about it. Let's see. Benny says, Chris, thoughts on Zach Wilson being an absolute pimp? I'm sure you heard about the story. Well, what was the story? He banged his mom's friend? Is that the story? I mean, good for him. You know what's so funny about the Jets? They're polar opposites. Remember Mark Sanchez? Mark Sanchez, when he was the New York Jets quarterback, in his second year, he got caught for sleeping with a 17-year-old. It was all over the New York Post. So Mark Sanchez slept with a high school student, and Zach Wilson slept with a high school teacher. There's no in between. It's polar opposites with the Jets quarterbacks. But congratulations to Zach Wilson, I guess. Let's see. Tana, you think Wan'Dale Robinson starts? I do. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is gonna get a decent amount of reps for sure, especially with Sterling Shepard out. No, not the same high school. Not the same high school. What impressed you the most today? The Big Mo said. I would just say the new look offense. Like, it was clearly apparent that this is a completely different offense this year. The pre-snap motion, just the type of patterns they were running, the usage of Barkley in terms of motioning them out. Even it wasn't always necessarily a passing play. Sometimes it was to be able to read the opposing defense. Just a different look to the offense. I would say that's what impressed me the most. But it's probably because I'm so accustomed over the last 2 years to having a prehistoric offense, having something more modern, and it looks similar to a Kansas City Chiefs offense, which, not saying we're going to perform like the Chiefs, but it's a fresh look. Let's put it that way. I would say that's what impressed me the most. So I'm doing some red zone drills today. Stand up. What's going on? Yeah, yesterday they did a lot more red zone drills, but yeah, they did some at the beginning, and maybe some at the end as well. I agree, Mike. I said it earlier when people were like saying bad things about Daniel Jones on a couple of throws. I'm like, Daniel Jones could have went out there and threw 14 touchdowns today, and I wouldn't have went crazy. Daniel Jones could go out there and throw 14 picks. I'm not going to go crazy. It's practice. It's practice without pads. Second day in a new offense. I agree. It's crazy. But I get it. It's overreaction season on both sides. People are overreacting when they see a highlight clip and they say, oh my God, and I'm guilty of that too. I'm a fan. I get excited. And then there's people that overreact on the other side of the spectrum. Daniel Jones threw a ball that was batted over the middle. He sucks. So I agree with you. You can't read too much into it in terms of the performance. Practice is where you're supposed to correct your mistakes. Tana, let's say DJ plays well and we make the playoffs. Who are we going to draft? I have no idea. You want me to give you a name? I have no idea. I don't even know where we're going to be picking. I got to evaluate the team. But if you're asking me right now today, what's our biggest need? Probably corner. Linebacker, corner. Maybe a guard or a center, but linebacker, corner. You could definitely react to a receiver getting overpaid. Horny Tana says, yo, been a minute, my sexy man. How you been? I'm doing good, man. I love the beard, dude. Maybe I'll grow a white beard this year. Derek says, honestly, I think the best thing for Joe Shane to do is draft a quarterback. We'll see at the end of the year, man. Hey, who is that 6'8" tight end? Oh, that's Austin. I think Austin Allen. Is that who you're talking about? He's huge. I'm trying to remember where he went to school. Nebraska. He went to Nebraska. Yeah, he's a lot of Giants fans were excited about him when we brought him in. I think a lot to do with just his overall size. But he's got a chance to make the team. I mean, we're not very good at that spot. But yeah, you're talking about Austin Allen. He's 6'8". I'm still watching on Entertainer After Dark. Let's see. Imagine if the fans controlled well, yeah. But that's fans. You can't be mad at the fans. They're reactionary. They're passionate. That's why they're called fans. It's the ownership and GM's job to not let the fans influence their decisions. Not to say the fans are always wrong. They're not. But yes, of course, most fans would be reactionary. That's what fans are. Austin Allen, he was undrafted. Bellinger, we drafted. Daniel Bellinger, we drafted. That's the tight end we took in the 4th round. But Austin Allen was undrafted. I know you're a Mets fan, so you probably won't watch it, but the captain is great. No, I'm going to watch it, actually, Benny. I love sports documentaries. I will definitely watch it. I haven't gotten around to it yet. The problem is, Benny, I have so many shows. Let me ask you guys in the chat. What shows do you guys watch? I, for anybody that hasn't watched it, no spoilers in the chat. Who watches Better Call Saul? Better Call Saul. If you don't watch that show, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Like, I understand for Breaking Bad fans, like when Better Call Saul first came out, you were like, oh, this show started way too slow. That has developed into a brilliant show, and there's only 3 episodes left. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't wait for Monday. But I am hooked on Better Call Saul right now. Christopher, man, thank you very much, man. Why is Daniel Jones going to magically become a good quarterback in year 4? Only throw 10 touchdowns each last 2 seasons. Listen, I'm not going to tell you one way or another what's going to happen. I could tell you, I think he's going to be better this year. Why do I think he's going to be better? I mean, I think the reason's obvious why I think he'll be better this year. The new scheme, you start there. You're going from an offense last year that restricted him and the entire offense in general. They were incredibly conservative. I think he will be better. That doesn't mean he's going to be great, but I think he'll be better with the new offensive scheme for sure. And I think Saquon Barkley is going to be better this year, and the addition of Evan Neal. I just think the overall offense should be better this year. But I don't, I'm not telling you he's going to magically become this incredible quarterback. We have not seen any evidence of that. We've seen bits and pieces, sure, that he's got some ability, but he's got to put it together for a full year, and hopefully he does. But I'm not going to come on here and tell you that I expect that to happen this year, but I think he will be better. Dude, Better Call Saul is insane, man. I love that show. Horny Tana, if we made it to the playoffs, I want to see a white bearded Tana on stream. Maybe I have some grays in my beard, but maybe I will dye my beard white if we make the playoffs. Just want to say, yeah, I know, man. I got to check it out after. I saw that somebody told me everybody commented. I'm gonna check it out after. Slink says, I am completely off the Jones train. Even if he gets MVP, he could just be a one-hit wonder. Great. I think if he gets MVP, you'd probably extend him, but that's so extreme. But I agree with you for the most part. I think if he plays well, I'm for the 1-year extension. I'm not for the multi-year extension. I haven't watched Animal Kingdom, but I've heard good things about it, James. I haven't watched it though, but people have told me it's good. There's just too many shows, man. There's so many shows. The Last Dance was awesome. One of the greatest sports documentaries of all time. Taco, what's going on, man? I'm trying to think of some other show. I'm going to tell you one show. I like talking shows. Sometimes you got to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to tell you one show that I was so disappointed with the ending. And I'm not going to tell you the ending in case you watch it. I loved it up until the ending. And the ending just like the show for me was like a 9. And I think it was like 5 seasons long. And then the ending made it like a 6 show for me. I hated it. What's the name of the show? Hold on one second. I'm going to tell you right now. But it was a popular show. Okay, yeah. Ozark. I friggin' hated the ending to Ozark. It completely ruined the television show for me. I hated it. I watched the ending. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's how they ended this? So I'll say that, man. That is one show that I saw recently that ended that the ending just completely ruined the show for me. I loved the show up until the ending. Yeah, people were writing Ozark. Oh, yeah, Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones didn't end well either, man. Yeah. Tana, you have to watch this show called Upload. I've seen the promo for it. I didn't see it yet though. Yeah, I always watch Hard Knocks, man. Very little, Lawrence. It was hard for me too because I'm holding up the phone and I'm trying to give you guys something to look at. So it's hard for me to really like zero in on individual players as much as I may have liked to. I did see Flat out there a couple times, but it was very hard to like zero in on individual players throughout the practice. I tried to zero in on Evan Neal, obviously Daniel Jones, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kadarius Toney. But yeah, he was out there. I don't know if anybody's in here was at training camp. I know that Bobby and Justin were taking down notes in terms of who was getting reps. I want to say Flott got a couple of first team reps, but I think he was in the slot. I could be wrong on that though. I think he was. I could be wrong on that though. You need to watch the 100. Again, another show. I've seen the promo before. I haven't watched it. Yeah, Robinson's the starting cornerback too right now. Stranger Things is friggin' amazing. The last season of Stranger, I was kind of falling off the Fabi, and I was kind of falling off on Stranger Things. After season 4, I liked it, but it lost like the appeal to me, and they hooked me right back in after this season. The last season of Stranger Things, I think, was the best season. It was friggin' awesome. It had like the Nightmare on Elm Street vibes, and it was a completely different feel to the show. Like the first 3 seasons, I felt like it was the Goonies, and this season almost felt like a horror show. But I love the last season of Stranger Things. Pistol Pete, what's going on, man? Mets just I know. Deal's got like a 12 ERA. I'm not gonna get excited about it. We got to do more, Pete. We got to do more, man. We got to do more than that, dude. We got to do more than that. And Zahibe says all those dink and dunk flops won't help with the DJ analysis. What do you mean? Oh, you mean him just checking it down? DJ's gonna have to win his football games this year. Period. End of story. He's not keeping his job if we don't win football games, and he's got to have a lot to do with it. I did. Hustle's actually good, where he plays the basketball guy. Yeah, I watched that on Netflix. It was actually pretty good. How long do you give Shane and Dable? 3 years at least. 3 years. This is a pairing now where they're in sync. They're together. Joe Shane obviously loves Brian Dable. He brought him with Buffalo. So for me, you're giving Shane 3 years. I mean, listen, I was patient with Gettleman. People want to get him fired after his first year. I gave him 3 years. If I gave Gettleman 3 years, you damn sure I'm going to give and I think Gettleman got 4 years, right? 2018, 19, 20, 21. So yeah, I was patient with Gettleman. You damn sure I'm going to be patient with Joe Shane. So and I think it's a pairing. I think they're going to succeed or fail together. So I think you're getting at least 3 years. And I think the approach that they took, they guaranteed themselves 3 years. The fact they didn't draft a quarterback this year guarantees they're getting 3 years. Because one of two things are going to happen. Daniel Jones is going to suck or not be good enough to push forward with. And then Joe Shane and Brian Dable go to ownership. They say, all right, he was never our guy. There wasn't a quarterback worth drafting in this previous draft class. Now we're going to get our guy. After you draft a quarterback, you're not firing the coach. Well, they did the first time with Pat Shurmur, but you're not supposed to fire a coach with a quarterback in his rookie year. So I don't see that happening. I think they're getting at least 3 years. And obviously, I hope they get 50 years, but I think they're getting at least 3 years. Pipe dream. Allen takes pay cut to go to the no chance. That is a pipe dream. I definitely feel this team is finally heading in the right direction, though a true rebuild. The future looks better, guys. Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Shep's on the pup right now. So I don't know. I don't know. I remember hearing Pummel. I remember hearing rumors that he was going to be back. People thought he was going to be back. Like mid to late August. But that was like a couple of months ago. So I don't know if that's changed. Thoughts on the Jimmy? No. The Jimmy G thing is bogus. It's not happening. I'm going to tell you where Jimmy G is going to end up. He's going to end up one of two places. He's going to end up with the Seattle Seahawks or the Cleveland Browns. And that's if he gets cut, which I think that's obviously where it's trending. So I think he either ends up with Seattle or Cleveland. I think Cleveland's his best fit due to the fact that Watson's probably going to be suspended. Garoppolo could go there, look good with a good supporting cast for 8-10 weeks. Then Watson comes back. Next year becomes a free agent and maybe he gets a good deal. But yeah, I think it's either going to be Seattle or Cleveland if I had to guess. How much do you think Andrew Thomas is worth and why? He's a 76 in Madden, I believe. And I think we should extend Andrew Thomas if he stays healthy this year at the end of the year. He's a long-term piece. You secure that guy. He's your left tackle. He's incredibly valuable. I think he's the second most important player on the team right now. No, we didn't back. I mean, minimal, Jacob. We backloaded Adoree Jackson a bit. I think we had a couple of small backloads, but nothing major. Shane was good with that. He better put, Seattle will be a horrible fit for him, but they need a starting quarterback. Been a while since I've joined one of these streams. Giants time, baby. Well, it's been a while since I've done one. So I'm glad that you're in here, Jason, and definitely going to be doing a lot, next Tuesday I'll be doing another one. Every time I go to training camp, we'll do one leading up until preseason. Then we'll probably do at least like 2 or 3 of these a week in season. I mean, I always love talking to you guys about football, especially when there's a lot to talk about. As long as we have a backup quarterback, we'll be fine. Tina, I can see the Mets winning the World Series. I agree. I'm not saying we're going to, but we definitely could with those top 2. Tampa Bay makes sense for Garoppolo. Not this year, next year. I could see him signing on with like Seattle or Cleveland if he looks pretty good. Team like Tampa may need a quarterback next year if Brady retires. There's a couple of spots I could see him latching on to the following year. Maybe the Saints if Winston doesn't play well. There's a couple I could see. But this year, I think it's down to 2 teams. I think it's the Browns and I think it's the Seahawks. No, not top 3. Not yet anyway. But could he get there this year? 100% he could. Chris, how was DJ today? He was pretty good. I'm not going to say he lit the world on fire, but he's pretty good. We'll get our first taste of DJ in this offense, I think, in the first preseason game. But we really won't get our first taste until the first regular season game because they're not going to show you all the bells and whistles in the preseason. They're going to show you a dummy down playbook. So week 1, Tennessee, that's when we're really going to be able to judge Daniel Jones and the offense as a whole. That's really when you're going to be able to do it. Training camp for me is about learning the playbooks because obviously they got 2 new schemes on either side and staying healthy. Get out of camp healthy. You get excited, right? It's every camp you get excited when you hear positive things. I don't. Yeah, to me, it's nonsense until such time the regular season kicks off, both positive and negative. If the media and the fans tell me this guy's playing horrible in training camp, okay, I'll worry about it in the regular season. When it actually matters. Right now, I'm not going to read too much into the good or the bad. Tina, can you see Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau starting? 100%. Not can I see? I know we're going to see them. They're going to start. Yeah, buddy. Kayvon Thibodeau throwback. How do you rate compatibility between personalities of Jones and Dable? Dable, to me, I said it, man, after Dable's first press conference. Dable, to me, seems like he'd get along with anybody. He's like a chameleon. And that's kind of what he said. He likes to fit his offense around the players that are on his team. But Dable's first press conference with the New York Giants, to me, felt like me when I do a live stream on YouTube. You just come on and you just talk. It's not like he orchestrated what he was going to say like Joe Judge did, where he prepared a speech. Brian Dable's just a guy he's confident in himself. He's going to go out there and he's just going to vibe. He's just going to go with the flow. And I think he's easy to get along with. I think he's a player's coach. I think the players are really going to like him, but that's just the type of guy. He's a polar opposite to Judge. And that's not a knock on Judge. We all bought into Judge with the speeches that he gave. But to me, Joe Judge, it seemed like rehearsed. Everything the guy did when it came, it seemed like it was almost rehearsed. It was like organized. With Dable, it's like, he just seems like a regular guy, man. What's going on, Barry, man? Thanks for popping in. Chris, will you? Yes. If the Knicks get Mitchell, I'll probably go live. I'll definitely make a video, but I'll probably go live if they get Mitchell. How was the new Batman movie? It was good. It was good. A different type of Batman movie, but it was good. Do you think Flott will get a lot of playing time this year? I think he's got a chance. A lot of it may depend on injuries and how the team's performing. If the team's not playing well, yes. In the second half, I think you'll see a lot of playing time. It all depends. I think it depends on injuries and team performance. I don't think he's going to see a lot of playing time at the start, but that could change quickly. Yeah, Dable has a personality unlike Judge. See, the thing is, I think Judge did have a personality. We just didn't see it. If you listen to a lot of the players and stuff, he seemed like he had a personality, but he was guarded. Dable's just himself. What are we week 1? Is it? Yeah, it's at Tennessee. But guys, we are going to close it out. It's 11:05. We went live for about 2.5 hours. It was a lot of fun to get back doing these. Yeah. Oh, by the way, let me answer this real quick because I love talking movies. Maybe this is a controversial take, Cressley, because I've seen a lot of positive reviews for this, and I don't know if you guys have seen it. I see them. Any pretty big movie, I see it because I have the movie pass. I pay $22 a month, and I just go whenever I want. So like I've seen Top Gun 3 times because I loved it, and I didn't. It's not like I pay extra. I saw Nope. Opening Friday. Before I get into my thoughts on the movie, I loved Us. Us is one of my favorite horror movies in the last 10 years. Loved Us. Loved Get Out. And I almost saw exclusively positive reviews for Nope. So I went in pretty excited. Those first 2 movies to me are 2 of the best horror movies in the last 10 years. I'm not saying the 2 best, but 2 of the best, among the best. Nope didn't do it for me. My review of Nope is nope. Should you spend, Chris, should I spend $20 to see Nope? Nope. What I'll say about Nope. Here's my opinion on Nope. Nope, to me, if it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie, would have got a 28% on Rotten Tomato. To me, it felt like a poor M. Night Shyamalan movie where it had a interesting twist, and it's like Jordan Peele came up with a really interesting idea and twist, but the story just didn't flow for me. I thought the female actress was great. The female actress was great. I don't know her name. She might get nominated. She was really good. But the movie as a whole, nope. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Like, there were definitely some good scenes. I'm not going to say it was a complete shit show, but definitely, in my opinion, did not come close to meeting the hype. But see it for yourself if you want to see it. Maybe you'll have a differing opinion. I just didn't love it, man. Get Out, I love. Get Out was great. But Nope on Nope. Nope on Nope. Yeah, like I said, Cressley, it was creative. For sure. It was creative. I understand that I could understand people who liked it. It just wasn't for me. My 2 favorite movies I've seen this summer, Top Gun, by far my favorite. And I actually really liked the Elvis movie. I thought the Elvis movie was well done. I thought the guy that played Elvis played it really well. Those have been my 2 favorite summer movies so far. But we are going to, Keke Palmer, she was great. Well, if that's her name, she was great. But guys, we're going to close it out. Thank you guys for being here, man. I appreciate all the support you guys always show. And Doctor Strange was all right. It was pretty good. I was hoping to be better. But I'll be live on Tuesday. And if not before, actually, I will be live before that. I got to talk to Bad Dog. We're going to be doing our Giants show later in the weekend. I'm going to check out the Giants YouTube page and see all the comments. I had so much fun today. To anybody that may be listening that was at training camp. And if not, hopefully I get to meet you guys at the next one or at FanFest or the Giants game this year against the Bears. But thank you guys for all the support you guys always show on the channel. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your night. Let's go Giants.